What's up, everybody? I hope everybody's having an awesome day because hey, it's been an awesome week for us, for the Xbox fans. I mean, dang, finally a victory. Yeah. But hey, we won a battle, but the war is still going. So we have to see what's going to happen. But either way, though, welcome to another episode of Xbox International Podcast. We are in flight number 72. Yeah. And man, oh man, tonight we have someone who started his YouTube channel in 2020, joined as co-host with Web Dave in the did I say Davers? Oh my god, in the Gamers Council in early 2023. His favorite superheroes are DC based, the Flash, and the Batman. Although I always say Peacemaker's better, but that's the truth. But either way, though, his favorite Disney series is that Loki TV series. Huh? I like better, Okay. Comes from French and Irish descent, which he knows how to say bonjour, bon amour, and he knows when is Sean Connery's birthday. Yes! Coming to us live from the Carolinas, Mr. Rhetri. How are you doing today, sir? And welcome and thank you for joining us tonight.
I'm doing great. I'm a little scared at how much you guys know about me. That was weird. I'm like, you know where I live. I'm Irish and French. I'm a little surprised there. Glad to be here, guys. It's going to be a fun one. We got a lot of great things to talk about, and just good news in the Xbox community, right? So I'm sitting at a high. I'm gonna be sitting on this high for a while, and I brought my drink because I heard something about beers and stuff. So I'm drinking some gin and juice. I'm going old school like Snoop. So happy to be here. Thanks for having me, guys.
Man, awesome to have you here, sir. And me, I am drinking, I think it's rum. I don't know, but it's something. I'm drinking something. And
doesn't even know.
In a phone cup. Yep, I'm drinking some in a phone cup because I don't want to clean glass. I don't want to do what's it called? What's the thing called? When you clean
dishes.
Dishes, yes. That's the word. Yeah,
dang, we got a new hashtag. It's hashtag Lazy Louie.
Just kidding.
What do you mean Lazy Louie? No, I'm gonna be lazy. And speaking about being lazy, Sourblow, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much, Rhetri. Thank you for coming.
You got it, bro.
It's gonna be awesome having you here. We had Web Dave in the past, so I'm very excited to get to know you a little better. And you're
now
ready.
You got the young gun. You had the old guy. Now you're getting the young guy.
Yeah, I see.
Even though I'm part of the Beards of Gaming, which thanks J Mac for making me a part of that.
It's pretty sweet beer.
And I'm just gonna say, you mentioned DC, you mentioned Batman, you mentioned the Flash. You already bought me there. You already won me there.
Well, because of Batman and the Flash, man, Peacemaker's better. You know what Peacemaker said in his TV show. Remember what he said about Batman, and that is true. I'm not going to say it because we're live in the air and it sounds real bad. But yes, Peacemaker is the best. Yep. And speaking about being the best, our sexy, handsome captain, Mr. Silent Cypher. How are you doing today, sir?
Crazy, are you already sucking up?
I'm eating peanuts. They're called Walala. Why the hell is it called Walala? That sounds weird, but either way though.
Anyways, I'm doing great. Rhetri, thank you so much for coming to hang out with us this evening.
Buddy.
I did want to give you a heads up and give you some reassurance because I know you're a little bit weirded out about the fact that we found that information about you. I just wanted to let you know it came from a viable source. I just harvested some of the blood that you ended up spilling on the battlefield in Fortnite.
Okay.
I put it into the genealogy, and I got some feedback. So that's how I know.
That's how you know what's up.
Does that make you feel
I feel like I did say that somewhere. It's ringing a bell. I just don't remember when I was talking about Batman and the Flash, but maybe
you said it. You said it early on when you were doing the Gamers Council. Actually,
okay. See, I knew it was. Yeah. See, my memory is terrible, so that's why I have a lot of flashcards and write things down on the internet. So
I never.
Yeah, it sounds like something I would say. So it sounds familiar.
But yeah. Sorry.
I was gonna say I hope that we kind of don't scare the guests.
Oh, you're not gonna scare me, dude. Trust me.
We always tend
Maybe
to
other people. Crazy Lou might scare other people, but he's not gonna scare
Oh
me.
yeah.
We're good.
Crazy Lou is special, but we tend to
He's special.
have information.
Wait,
But,
are y'all calling me special? Why are you calling me special? What the
Hashtag special Louie.
Oh,
But yeah, I'm doing great. I'm excited to be here. Super excited to have Rhetri as a guest today. And yeah, I'm excited about everything going on right now, man. It's been a hell of a week, to be fair.
Mhm.
It has been quite a week so far. So yeah, let's get on it.
yeah, man. Let's get on it. Speaking about getting on it, guys, let's start with Mr. Rhetri. What have you been playing?
I don't want to say it because every time I say it, Silent makes fun of me in our Discord. I have been playing Fist. So it's been a lot of get fisted jokes going back and forth in our. So for me, I like it. It's a cool Metrovania game. It's an indie game, but I think it's really well done. I'm actually surprised that some of the animations that are in that game are actually really, really good. But I've been obviously I played Fortnite. That's like my new multiplayer thing that I got into. Even though everyone thinks it's for the kids, I don't give a crap. Like I love that game so much. And Diablo, and of course Diablo. So I had to try to step away from Diablo and Fortnite a little bit and play some of the smaller games. So I gave some time to get fisted, as we say in the. I hope I'm not getting you guys in trouble right now, because Crazy Louie can get spicy, but I got a mouth on me like a trucker. So anyone who games with me knows that.
Yep.
So prepare.
Isn't that like a little rabbit or something in the game?
Yeah. It's all animals and stuff.
So,
like the whole thing
okay.
is all. It's an animal based world.
So probably he got the idea from gerbils and okay, never mind. Let's keep going. Okay, let's keep going.
I know you love gerbils and tubes. We were talking about that earlier. So
no.
Look, I got a new chair, guys. I got my new comfy chair just for the show. I put it together today. So hopefully it doesn't fall apart when I'm on the podcast, because I put it together. So
what's going on in that background too? Like,
this is I get made fun of for this as well. They call this the Epcot look. It's just a background that I made with a bunch of like Govee lights and stuff, because I used to be a DJ and I'm a sucker for lights. So
nice.
Okay.
Like all those streamers that have lights and stuff like that.
Is that mixed in like with acoustic panels? Does it kind of look like no?
It does. I almost got some of those. I almost got like this material is like PVC, but I almost got some that were acoustic. But I like the look of this better. A little kind of 3D action going on.
Yeah, it looks
because a lot of people thought it was actually a green screen background, so I had to be like touch it, and then it almost fell on me because this is not on the wall. This is like on foam. I'm in an apartment right now, so this is like this can fall on me basically.
If it does,
living in the danger zone.
If it does, trust me, we will not laugh.
Yeah, I'm sure that won't be clipped and won't go immediately to the internet.
It probably will. No, I'm just kidding. Kidding.
You're good.
And speaking about that,
I hear someone's traffic in the background. I don't know.
Oh, that's Dominican Republic is coming for that. People like to hit
Crazy is about to get arrested again.
Yeah, no, that was like 3 months ago, so it's not gonna happen again. I'm ready. Yeah. I have a bad luck with being arrested, but yes. Yeah, damn you, Horn.
Yeah.
Either way, though, and since we were talking about animals, Sourblow, tell us what you have been playing.
Wait a minute, did you just compare me to an animal?
Oh, yeah, you are a beast at Halo, man.
You could be a tiger.
Yeah, you could be a tiger. You could be a lion, or you could be
sexy cougar. Whatever you want to be, Sourblow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, whatever. Well, anyway, our guest actually, he brought it up, so I'll bring it up again. I'm actually also playing Fist.
There you go.
I'm playing that on the cloud whenever I'm upstairs and not down here in my play area. And I agree with him. It's a very cool Metrovania. It actually has surprised me that there's a lot of cool things with it. I continue to play some Gotham Knights, and I'm also playing Need for Speed Unbound. So those are the three games I'm playing at the moment.
How are you liking Need for Speed, by the way? Like, it's on my very long backlist. I was just curious. I haven't seen a ton of people playing it, so I know it's got that like cartoony.
Yeah,
it's got the cartoony look, right, in this one.
Yes, it does have a cartoony look, and even the effects are very cartoony. But so far I've been liking it. I'm not really that far because that's my third game, I would say. The two main games I'm playing is Gotham Knight is my main one, and then Cloud is Fist. And then when I don't have much time, or when I can get a race or two, that's my go-to game.
Okay, I got you. I got games like that too. That's like Overwatch for me. When I'm kind of sick of everything else, I just go back to play a couple games of Overwatch and go right back to something else. What are you playing? Like you're saying, you're using the Cloud. So are you using that on your phone, or are you using that on a different device for playing Fist? You were saying you were using a Cloud for that.
Yeah, I'm using my phone, and I have one of those Racer Kishi devices.
Oh, okay,
that I
cool.
plug in control. Yeah. So the experience have been great, but maybe because I'm in my house, so
right. You step outside 2 feet, and it's a different story. I think one of those was on sale actually on Amazon. I don't think it was a key, whatever the heck the one for the iPhone was named. I can't remember what it's called. But it was like $30 off.
Backbone, I think it's called.
That's it. It was like $70 today instead of $100. So there you go, guys. If you want to save $30 on one of those.
I think the Razer Kishi I seen there like for $50. I think.
Is it? Oh wow. Okay. That's cheap.
I think you can get the Gen 1 for even less than that now too. Like if you can still find a Gen 1, you can find them for dirt cheap now too.
Is there a benefit? Do you know like the difference between Gen 1 and Gen 2 on that? Is like
yes. So I have both. And the biggest thing I would say is the Gen 1 actually collapses down more than the Gen 2 does. Because the Gen 2 actually has more of a backbone, if you will. Right, whereas like the Gen 1, it's literally a small little clip that folds with like little rubberized grips on the sides. So it shrinks down to like this size versus like the Gen 2's somewhere like that. So it's about half.
It wouldn't
the
matter
size
for me. I work from home, so I don't I don't even need any of these things. I just want them. Like I want the ROG Ally. I would literally just use it when I'm taking a shit and going to bed. Like, you know what I mean? So I can annoy my wife like with a bright ass screen while she's trying to sleep, and which I do sometimes with my phone anyways. But it's like, why do I need this thing for $700 or whatever the hell it is?
That's why I call it a toilet console. See,
it is.
It's a toilet console. That's the best toilet console.
You're spending a lot of time in there. You gotta, doing your business. You gotta get things done.
Yeah. Quick, Silent. Does the Racer Kishi the you said the second
the Gen 2.
The Gen 2, yeah. Does that has like earphone like jack?
Yes. Yeah, sorry. I had to think about that for a second. So I haven't used it for a minute, but it does have a headphone jack. It also has a USB-C connection as well. So you can charge it as you're playing if you want to, which is nice. Because what it does is it actually connects through your USB-C, so you don't get latency from like a Bluetooth controller. And so the way that they bypass that and allow you to charge is then you can plug into it as well. So you can charge and have that speed. It's really cool.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Guys, sorry, but I have some bad news to say.
What is
and I have to say it this way. Son of a bitch. FTC appeals court decision permitting Microsoft to buy Activision Blizzard. Damn it,
We'll talk about it. We'll
talk about it later, but it just appeared now. Sorry, I had to mention that. It's bad news. But damn
tax dollars.
Yes. It's your money, not mine.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's very true. That is true.
Either way, though, I'm just tired of this. But what else have I had? Oh, yes, our sexy, handsome captain. Tell us what you have been playing, sir.
So of course, I've been playing a bunch of Fortnite as well. Like I was mentioning, Rhetri has been supporting me and aiding me as medic on a regular basis as I run out like
Lift you up, brother.
a wild Rambo out into the middle of nowhere. Get downed. He's been my hero. Between my brother and myself, he's been playing a lot of medic. I'm sure his back is probably super sore because of how much he's had to carry us recently.
Your
but-
brother's bad too, man. He ain't,
Dude,
like he might be more guilty of leaving the crew than you are. He's every time I turn around, he's gone.
not to throw him under the bus, but yes, he's 100%
Yeah.
worse with that.
Yeah, he's
Or
definitely
maybe,
worse.
or maybe it's a strategy for you to shoot the other person, get him his low health, and then Rhetri gets the kill. Maybe that's the strategy.
I do steal a lot of kills,
Yeah,
as many as I possibly
it's
can.
been
That's
perceived.
kind of the name of the game. I just wait. Like you
Yeah.
guys will be like pop, 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 and I'm just like,
Same thing Sourblow does in Halo. He hides in the corner, and when somebody's shooting, he comes out and shoots them, to end things.
No,
I'm
that's
not-
that should die.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I've definitely had a few instances where I've used my brother as a meat shield.
Yeah.
Let him take all the fire, and then I
Exactly.
come in and I get the kill for sure. You have to. It's the way it works, right?
Yep.
But besides that, I've actually been playing a good grip of Arcade Paradise as well, which has been quite an adventure. If someone in the chat, if anyone listening to this hasn't seen this, if they haven't seen the coverage that Rhetri did on Gamepass Daily, check it out on YouTube. But also check out
the worst trailer I've ever seen, though.
Dude, that trailer's
cut out-
amazing.
Listen, I cut
What trailer?
as someone. It's the '90s kids. Like
Yes.
I cut out all the '90s kids as much as I could out of that trailer because they were driving me nuts. Because
Dude,
like, this
it's
is what. All right. So like they're all wearing like bad '90s clothes or whatever. Not even the cool '90s clothes like the stuff I was wearing. But this is like
all that cool stuff. Yeah, back in the
yeah,
day.
right. This
Yeah,
like
yeah.
every shot of them, like they would be in the arcade and they would be like this.
Oh wait,
Like I was like, I can't do it. I can't take it. Like it was driving me nuts. I'm like, I'm cutting all these annoying children out of this thing. But it's funny because I was like Silence talking about this, but I was making fun of the game. And man, I got some shit for that. Like people were like, "Oh, that game's so good." Like you know what you're talking about. I was like, so I might have to.
Wait.
I might have to play it now. I made people listen. I made fun of people on Vampire Survivors too.
Yeah.
And that one I was really wrong about. So I might have to give this one a shot.
This one is good. It's definitely worth playing. The thing that I'll say is, like, when you start into it, you don't think that there's that much going on, right? Like, you're literally going there to run a laundromat. So you're just going in, you're putting laundry in the washer, then you're waiting until you put it to the dryer, and then all of a sudden you discover there's way more to it. And not only are you upgrading this place as you're going, unbeknownst to your dad, spoilers, but you're also like, you're doing all sorts of other stuff. Like you get to play the arcade games and stuff that are in the back of the laundromat as well.
That's one of the things that interested me when I saw this.
Yes.
I was like, I wonder, are there any ones that we would know, or is it kind of like is it like knockoffs?
It's like totally knockoffs, I'm pretty sure. And it's literally like knockoffs that they created for the game. And they're great. Cool. Like they literally they have one that's literally like God, it's like if Bejeweled had like a story mode where you're roaming around doing things and you actually have battles. So it's kind of like a puzzle quest type of thing. They've got a game that's like that in there. They've got like old racing game type of stuff in there. They have one that's like a shoot 'em up, like top down. Like there's a lot of really good stuff in it actually.
Nice.
So it's definitely worth playing. I did not realize what I was getting into when I jumped into this game, and it is something else. So check it out.
Good to know. Yep. On Game Pass.
Yeah.
Sponsor.
This episode brought to Game Pass.
Yes, Xbox Illuminati. Yes. Okay. So nobody ain't gonna ask me anything, but okay, since nobody's gonna ask me, Louis, what have you playing?
I'll interview you.
What have I been playing? Oh, thank you for asking me, a guy from over there. Okay, just making sure. But yes, what have I been playing? The hell, what have I been playing these days? Huh.
Well, what have you been streaming?
Simulator.
Well, I haven't, I've been playing, Evil Within, but I'm gonna hop into that tonight. So after this episode, probably later on, I'm gonna hop into that, and play, a little bit more of Evil Within because tomorrow is torture day for me. I can't say that. Sorry, guys. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell the missus. But either way, though, but yeah, I want to play Evil Within later on, and I've been playing Halo with Sourblow, and that's about it. I haven't been playing that much lately. I just been, just a little bit off the grid, just running around doing some errands and stuff like that. But yeah, everything cool.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyways, speaking about cool, let's talk about this cool and awesome, beautiful flight itinerary we have today for today's episode, which we are doing first a security screening before we let Rhetri on the plane. We gotta check him out. We gotta check everything, check his pockets, check his pants, and everything. See what's going on down
Check
there.
his
And
pants.
Whoa.
What kind of screening
This
you
guy-
wanna do?
Whoa,
This guy good.
whoa.
No,
Say
no,
more.
wait a
Say
minute.
say more to me, crazy. I'm not drunk enough yet. It's not the weekend, but
I know.
Let's go.
I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding.
Hey, you want to make it weird? Let's make it weird.
Yeah, we got a security screening going on. We got Star Wars Jedi 3. Wow, another Star Wars game. Oh man, Black Panther game. Ooh-wee. That has me so excited. GTA 5 again in Gamepass. What? No way. And also, of course, again and again, the subject we talk every single since last January, ABK deal updates. So,
Are you guys tired of it, or?
we're not tired of it. We've just been talking about it since day one.
Yeah,
It's an ABK.
It's an ABK,
Right.
yeah. It's
I
an
think it's a
ABK.
gun.
Yeah, it's just an ongoing subject just wanted to end. But either way, though, I think it's time to give it back to my brother Silent. Take it away, sir.
Yeah, so some quick housekeeping because we do have a sponsor through Dubby Energy in case you haven't heard of it. But Sour, all of this ABK Blizz conversation recently, it's tiring. Life can be hard, and having that energy to maneuver my days is hard to come by sometimes. That's where Dubby Energy comes in. Dubby Energy is a jitterless energy blend powder that can be mixed in with my current beverage of choice. It would be weird with beer, but it'll work.
With alcohol.
And it helps me tackle my work weeks, which I'm not drinking beer when I mix it, like a champ. Dubby Energy is a sponsor of XBI Podcast. Visit www.dubby.gg and use our promo code XBI Podcast for 10% off your first purchase if you choose. Dubby Energy, be better. Sour, back to you.
Sour, back to you.
All right, let's start our security screening, which, to be honest, Rhetri, he's almost aboard, but, we need
So
to check
close.
real quick a few things. You make sure, everything's all right. We actually have 2 questions that we ask each guest before we go on flight.
Okay.
For you, actually, I want to add a 3rd question, and this is
All right.
this is just I'm actually curious. Why Rhetri? Is that your real name, or is that something that?
No. All right. So
Please explain.
Rhetri actually. We're all drinking and doing stupid shit. Rhetri actually comes from Retry. Me and my buddy, from a Nintendo game we were playing back in the day. We got really high, and this is really where it comes from. And I said, what the fuck is Rhetri? And he goes, do you mean retry? He's like, did you just smoke yourself retarded? That's where it comes from. And my buddy used it. He used to make music, and he used that name, like when he as his band and stuff. And not to get all weird, but he passed away years ago, right around Christmas time. So I decided to take the name. I was like, I just kind of wanted it to live on. So most people don't know the second half of that story. Almost nobody's heard that the part, that he passed away, and that's why I took it on. But yeah, so that's it's a funny memory. It's a good memory. And and it has to do with video games. So I was like, oh, let's do that. So that's where that name comes from. Hopefully, I didn't bring the room too down, but yeah. So
it's cool. You're paying homage, and he
Right.
lives on in your gamer tag, which is cool.
yes, yeah, 100%.
All right. Well, okay. Let's start with
Cheers.
with cheers. Let's start with the two questions. The first
Alright.
one would be, well, they're both hypothetical questions. So the first one is, Constellation has chosen you to pick 3 games that will go into space in a time capsule as a mean of introducing other life forms to our planet. What 3 games will you choose and why?
Oh my lord.
Let's see.
I should have prepared for this. I know one off the bat, like, just kind of sticks with me. Definitely for me, Super Mario Brothers 3. I just love that game.
Wizard.
I think for me, it's maybe it's nostalgia. It's also a game that my parents were never gamers. Like they, you know what I mean? Like I was like kind of like first generation to play video games. And that's something but my mother actually played, which just kind of blew my mind. I'm like, oh my God, my mom's playing video games. And so I have a lot of good attachment and a lot of good memories to Super Mario Brothers 3, besides the fact that it's amazing game. I would have to say, this is a tough one. I kind of want to say Halo 1. Also nostalgia maybe. It's not I really like Halo 2. I like Halo 2 better. But Halo 1 just going out into the vista. I love like fighting the aliens. I just remember like seeing the green grass everywhere, and I was just amazed by being able to take the vehicles around and drive them around. And Halo's just a great game for me. And since I picked 2 old ones.
Oh, I got a question though, but wouldn't the other life forms from another planet after they play that game be a little bit scared? They'd be like, "Oh damn, they got
That we're gonna kill them?"
It's his game. It's his games. Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Let him.
Well, he's got a point. I kind of like where Louis was going with that. He's like, I don't. Yeah, we're gonna get killed because I just basically said that if aliens come down here, we're gonna murder you. He's got a good point. Yeah. Not my greatest pick. Yeah, it's a little threatening.
It's good.
Let's go, aliens! Come on. My last one, I'm gonna actually go with Elden Ring, which will probably also make the aliens hate me because they're gonna be like, why did you pick the hardest game of all time? Because I just love Elden Ring so much. It really got me into Souls games. And for me, I'm a big, like environments, I'm really big into world building and the environments itself. And Elden Ring had some of the most beautiful environments I've ever seen. And every time I thought I was on the edge of a world or something, or I go underground, I'm like, oh my God, there's a whole nother world out here. And it was just an amazing game. So I think it got a lot of new people like myself. Like we saw the scores and I'm like, oh, all right, should I just buy this stupid thing? And I did, and it was my game of the year. So I would go with those 3. Maybe I'm gonna add in an extra one in there and say It Takes Two, which is just ridiculous fun. It was some of the best gaming. Maybe I'll take It Takes Two and push out Super Mario. I don't know. It Takes Two was just so much fun online, playing with my buddy. It's some of the best gaming I've had in like 20 years. It feels like it brought me back. It brought me back to old school gaming with friends online. So that game is definitely special to me. So, which hopefully Microsoft will acquire that studio. They were on the list, so
Yeah.
That would be great. So that's my games. Sorry, that was long-winded.
No, there were great picks actually. It Takes Two. I played it with my wife. My wife doesn't play video games.
I did
I
too.
had a blast with her.
Did you finish it?
Yeah. Yes.
Good for you. Your marriage will last. I mean, my wife's like, I'm fucking done. Because I was telling her what to do. She's like, you need to shut up. Just let me play the game.
We argue all the time.
Why don't y'all play Overcooked? That's great.
No way. Yeah, see.
That's a great one.
I've heard that one. Yeah, because after I played It Takes Two, everyone was like, well, You could try Overcooked, and I was like, I don't want to get a divorce, so I like my wife. We're
That's
cool.
the fight right there. I'm telling you, that's the fight. That's
Yeah.
the fight. It
Yeah,
never ends.
I actually played that one, and I also played A Way Out with her, and
Oh, nice.
we beat them both. It
From
took
the same
long.
studio, right? That's the same
Yeah,
studio
same
that
studio.
it takes too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it took like, let's say, for example, to beat the game is 5 hours. It probably took us like 20, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Always
yeah.
takes a little bit longer. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, we got a question from the chat. Mr. Dark wants to ask Game Pass Daily, do you like Resident Evil Code Veronica? And answer carefully.
Oh, wait a minute.
Listen, Mr.
Dark.
Joanna Dark,
Oh.
I am not afraid of you,
Listen.
sir. I am in the chat with you with Boom. So I don't like. Not every Resident Evil hits it for me. I'm just gonna listen. I love you, Mr. Joanna Dark, but it's not my fault. You got bad taste. If that's
I guess. Oh,
listen. Opinions can't be wrong. Today proves otherwise.
Rhetri, I already liked you beforehand, but I like you a whole lot more right now, bud. Thank you for
No,
that.
Code Veronica is doo doo. Just like Resident Evil 5 was doo doo. Just my opinion.
Man.
And they don't
I'm
all
almost-
hit. They can't all hit. You know what I mean? So
I'm almost ready to skip the screening. Like you're already.
Dude, we're good.
I'm
Yeah, you've
in.
made the VIP
Nice.
list now.
sorry.
All
I'm
right.
sorry. Sorry, Mr. Dark.
Well, the final question is: you got on a flight and you decided to sleep for the duration of the trip. When you wake up, let's say, for example, Phil Spencer, or it could be any gaming icon that you idolize, is sitting next to you. You only have 2 to 3 minutes to introduce yourself and give your elevator pitch. First, who would your gaming idol be, and then what would you tell them? You got 2 to 3 minutes.
So I'm pitching a game to him. Basically, is what's happening here.
You're
Or?
basically introducing yourself, telling him who you
Okay.
are in 2 to 3 minutes. Hopefully, he'll give you some sorts of a job or something.
I'm just laughing. I'm just laughing at Mr. Joanna Dark. He's calling delusion. They did not. I had no clue the questions they were going to ask. Dark. I really didn't. I just know that game sucks. But anyways, it would have to be. It would have to be Phil. It would have to be Phil.
Man.
The slander is real. I'm sorry, Dark. It would be Phil. Just because, I respect Phil, like being an intern, literally like working his way from the bottom. You know what I mean? I have a infinite amount of respect for that. And I think what I would do with my 2 minutes, I probably would pitch a game to Phil, see if he could make it for me, and then maybe get me a job while I pitch it. And I'll probably do something with maybe Irish folklore or something like that, like some like scary, maybe like a leprechaun game or something. A leprechaun goes, kills a bunch of Irish folklore monsters. That's my pitch to Phil, and I'd get a triple I, not A, budget, and he'd hire me as a producer because I can't really do code anyway. So it's got to be Phil. I mean, he literally saved the brand. He saved.
Yeah.
Without Phil, there is no Xbox. Period. So, shout out to Phil if you're watching.
All right. Well, I think you passed the screening. It's time to
right.
go on flight. So, Captain, take it away.
I think that's you, Silent. If the captain fell, oh shit. Okay.
Oh, he's here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sour has turned on that subscribe button. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. Please stow your food and beverages next to your desk, underneath your seat, or in front of you. Please take your seat and fasten your seatbelt. Also, make sure you've hit that notification bell. We gently remind you that smoking and drinking are not prohibited on this flight. However, making a big and sketchy deal out of people meeting, eating with, taking pictures of employees at console companies, etc., acting like we can't be sociable with people inside the industry because it looks biased is strictly prohibited. If you have any questions about our flight today, please don't hesitate to ask one of our flight panelists. Thank you. Back to you, Crazy.
All right, let me go right away through our awesome people here that are in the chat. Let's start with Back from the Dead. What's up, my brother? Rachie. Hello, 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 Rachie. I hope you get your cell phone charged and come back to us. We miss you, brother. Fantos, sir. Hello, hello, sir. How are you doing, G Wave? What's up, G Wave? Isn't that like a thing where you like wave your hands, like like the stadium's G Wave? Isn't or is it this is just called the wave?
No, that's not a thing.
Oh, okay. What's up, Mark Chong? How are you doing? Let me go down the list. RSJ fan. Hello, hello, Mr. Glass. That's a cool name, Mr. Glass. It sounds
That is
like
a good name.
That sounds like a James Bond villain type of name. Cool name, yeah.
Mhm.
Pretty cool name. Going down the list. RWK88. Hello, hello, sir. Mike Johnson. What's up, Mike Johnson? Yes, we will get to the FTC. No worries. Just hang on because we will get there. Trust me. After all the time we gotta do. Oh, yes, lots of stuff to say now, especially since they are peeling those sons of. But either way, though, let's go down. Decado! What's up, Decado? Sanchez Martinez Gaming. Hello, hello. Going down the list, going down the list. Let's see. Lobo del Mal. Oh, man. Lobo del Mal. That name. I wonder who that is. John Wolf. What's up, Mr. John Wolf? I hope you're doing awesome, sir. Going down the list, going Mr. Dark. Sorry, Mr. Dark. You did not like Veronica, man. Sorry about that. Sorry. Sorry, man. Sorry.
I have a question before you keep going. Has anyone said yes?
I have.
Okay. There's got to be one. That's why you're crazy, Crazy Lou. That's
But
He got bribed into it.
no. I said
was it
the
a super chat? Was he like,
No.
I'll pay you?
No. Let's talk about the truth about that game. What made it better was when Chris Redfield came into the game. That's the truth, though. But let's leave it like that. Joshua Fisher, what's up, Joshua Fisher? How are you doing, sir? And who else is here? Not said think about. Oh, it's Fuzzy. What's it better? Fuzzy had no hair. What's up, Fuzzy Belvedere? Welcome, sir.
Sorry, Fuzzy.
All right.
Oh man.
What's going on, Fuzzy?
Oh man, back to you, sexy captain. Take it away. We got a show to go and a show to run.
Oh, good Lord. Okay, well, obviously we'll end up getting into talking about the big stuff, the FTC rulings and all that stuff, as well as some other stuff with GTA and Gamepass. But real quick, we wanted to touch base on a couple little tidbits, as it were. So there's a rumor going around right now, obviously, that Star Wars Jedi Survival has a third in this now. Well, we're discovering is going to be a trilogy potentially. It's in development, according to Tom Henderson's reporting from Insider Gaming. This, for me, has me really excited because these games have been phenomenal. You can obviously have an argument for how this last one released, and I think even how the first one released. There were some issues, some bugs, some performance issues here and there, maybe some optimization.
That was mostly PC Master Race, though, right? That was mostly on the PC guys, so yeah.
Yeah.
Or was it both? I did have a little bit of issue with the second one.
I want to say I remember having a little bit of issue on both of them on the console. Frame rate just kind of being a little bit tanky here and there.
Yeah.
But in general, like it's getting better as they've worked on it. It's definitely gotten better. But the idea of having a third in this makes me super excited, makes me interested to see where they go with it from here. I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to them inevitably adding more characters from the canon that we've seen in the past. I think there are some cool opportunities with where they're going with this. But Rhetri, I want to know your thoughts. Are you excited about this? Is this something that's going to be a day one for you, or will you end up waiting for a little while?
I have not finished the last one. I'm like, ooh, a butterfly. Like I'm easily distracted. So
I feel you.
I feel very guilty about this one, and I'm surprised Umbra hasn't given me shit about it. He might not know I haven't finished it, but I haven't finished it. but I love the first one. The second one in the beginning wasn't doing. The first one wasn't doing it in the beginning for me either. It was a game that in the beginning I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this, and then I ended up loving it. And the second one kind of did the exact same thing, and I'm not quite sure why. Maybe it was just the buildup of the powers once you get to a certain point, and you're like, okay, now I got this good ebb and flow. How the combat works, and I'm starting to really enjoy the game because I feel a little badass. But I really love the first one. The second one, like I said, I haven't finished, so I don't know how the story ends or lends itself to another one. I can definitely say I'm a big, I'm a fan of Respawn, and I'm not surprised that they would make this a trilogy at all. It kind of fits with Star Wars in general. So it probably will be a day one for me. I just don't know if I'll finish it right away. But I'm definitely excited about more Star Wars stuff. As long as as long as we don't get like too much at the same time, because I do get, just like I get, like we were talking about this, Cypher. I get Marvel fatigue. I get kind of property fatigue, and right now Star Wars is a little fatigued for me personally.
Yeah.
So I mean, but this is, I mean, the game just came out, so we're not going to see this game for like 4, 5, 6 years or something. But I don't want Star Wars to go away, so I'm happy that they're making another one in this. I like Cal Kestis. I know some people I've talked to. I won't name them, but not a fan of the writing or the acting or him as an actor in this. I think he's actually pretty good. I like the side characters as well. I think they're all written pretty well. So I'm looking forward to it. It's one of the better, in my opinion, it's one of the better Star Wars games that's out there. It sits up there with KOTOR for me, which is probably my all-time favorite. So yeah, I'm excited about it. Yeah.
I think I think you bring up a good point. Obviously, like you were saying, we talked about this yesterday, even
Right.
about this fatigue, right? Like this fatigue builds up really quick with some of these franchises, because when these folks realize what they have, they want to milk the cow for everything they can,
Right.
right? Before they send it out to pasture, rip cow.
Right.
But
I don't think you
that
have to
being
do that
said,
with Star Wars. Star Wars is forever, right? Star Wars has been around for 40 years. Like you don't have to
yeah,
beat us over the head. We'll always come back. Even when the movies are terrible, we come back and we watch them in droves. Like nothing stops the Star Wars wave. You know what I mean? Just don't make it. I just don't want them to disperse it out to all these studios and it becomes Call of Duty. You know what I mean? Like I've skipped a bunch of Call of Duties because it was just, it's there every year. Madden's there every year. FIFA's there every year. I can skip a few years, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what Star Wars kind of become a little bit for myself. Not these games, but just in general. So
I do think with the idea, right, like where we're at right now, obviously with Star Wars is definitely not where we might be, right? So when you
yep.
factor 4 or 5 years from now, this game coming out, maybe we're in a completely different landscape as far as
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars goes, especially with the things that we were talking about and that we know about Disney, where they've started to dial back on some of those franchises and some of the
Right.
Star Wars realm. It makes me wonder if maybe it's going to be a situation where there's more of a starvation for Star Wars content instead
Mm-hmm.
of an oversaturation where we're at right now, you know?
Yep.
And so that could definitely help us. I think with that game is like, unless you're playing those back to back to back, there's a good gap in between each game that I
Mm-hmm.
think will probably lend in a positive way for them when it comes down to it. But Sour, did you end up playing the new one? Are you excited about a third?
Okay, I haven't played the new one because
Ooh. At least I started it. I
no,
just
I
kidding.
haven't. I have a big back catalog, and
Yeah.
that's a game that I want to take my time when I do play it, and my head is just thinking Starfield. That's all I'm thinking about
Mm.
until I don't play Starfield for a long time. I don't think I'm gonna jump on this one. So in terms of the new one, I am excited, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm in no rush. I would have preferred that they would have taken a break and worked on Titanfall 3 maybe.
Oh,
Yeah.
sour
Yeah.
blow. That is the right answer.
Yep.
That is
Yeah.
100% the right answer, brother. That's
You did something
yes.
horrible, and then you came back and redeemed yourself. Good job.
He's like, you were talking. Everything you were saying was wrong until you said the right thing.
Yep. Yep.
All right, don't rush me. Don't rush me. I was gonna get there.
It's a marathon, not a sprint, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, no, that's awesome. I like that feedback. Hey, Crazy, real quick before you give us your opinion, we actually have our first super chat ever. Do you want to read
What?
this?
This is the first one ever?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow, this is the first.
Yes.
Oh man,
I love being around for first. What's
All right, this is our first
Exclusive.
awesome super chat from Toxic Spitter. He says, "Won't buy ABK
Great
games. I'll
name.
play them on Game Pass."
Attaboy.
You won't
Sorry.
buy.
I really
no,
like that.
man. Why do you won't buy games, man? You gotta buy your games. Once you-
No, blasphemy.
Yes.
He's
Yes.
correct.
The
Toxic
devs.
Spitter, you are absolutely right. You just wait because they're going to come to Game
No,
Pass.
Yeah.
I
Save
agree
yourself some money.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Toxic is like, and they might get me here and there. I think we've seen it a few times, right? With
Yeah.
some of the Microsoft franchises as well as like Redfall, Forza. Some of these other ones have offered you the option of getting a smaller piece of that. So you have the season pass or whatever, and then you end up getting the early access or whatever it is. So I could see myself doing some of that. But as far as like full on game purchases, it allows me the freedom to not have to do that as much. And as a consumer who wants their money to go as far as possible, I think that's awesome. And I'm right with you. I will play them on Game Pass. I'll support them here and there on other ways, but that's 100%.
It's like like a lot of the EA games. I know they're all gonna hit. It's not an if, it's a when. So like when those come out, like there's the FOMO, but if I can just get through that week while everyone else is, playing whatever the new hotness from EA is, if I could just make it through that week, then I'm good. Then I'm probably good. Like 6 months to a year, that shit's gonna hit Game Pass. It always does. So it has changed the landscape of how a lot of people like me who are cheap think about gaming in general. Game Pass, in my opinion, has affected sales because it's affected sales personally for me.
Yeah.
My first thought is, will this maybe come to Game Pass? Is it going to come to Game Pass day one, or am I going to see this in 6 months or 12 months? And can I wait that long? Someone who's got a back catalog, like Sourblow was saying, like myself, I have a huge one too. Pause. It's. I don't have a lack of games. I don't have a lack of games to play. That's just the truth. And with Game Pass, we're variety gamers now, right? I don't play like growing up. I played like 2 games a year because that's all I could afford. Now I play like 4 in a month. It's an insane value. So it's really changed the way I think about gaming in general, and it doesn't surprise me that Game Pass can cannibalize some sales, not all sales. Sometimes it increases sales for stuff, but not every time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would say basically there's time since I'm playing certain games on Game Pass, and then there's a game that comes out and I really want to play it. I'm more keen into like spending the money because I'm saving money with Game Pass. So at the same time, like the games that that are coming to Game Pass, you kind of don't spend the money on that, but you spend it elsewhere. And then there's been games that I have played from certain studio that I like it, and then I'm like, oh, they have this other game, let me purchase this game. So I didn't purchase that specific game, but I purchased another game from that studio. So yeah.
That's a really good point, Sourblow. I mean, I did that with Elden Ring. I did it with Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I've done it with a bunch of other games. So you're right. Like you have that, what I think is coming to Game Pass, which allows you to spend money somewhere else for third-party stuff. So
yeah,
absolutely 100%. True.
Stretching that money as far as it can go. God bless.
Got to use those rewards too. So when I do purchase them, I'm never paying $70. I think I've paid $70 once, and I kind of mentally refuse to do that because I'm one of the guys who did a lot of study on this. It's BS. There's no reason that games cost $70 if you actually know why they went up, and don't let them frickin' fool you with games cost more than they have to. There was games 15 years ago that cost 200 million, guys.
Yeah.
There just was.
Incidentally, I think two things go into that, right? And I'll keep it short, but you know, we did $60 games for a long time, and it worked out just fine. To tell me that you're going to charge me $70, but you're also going to put a bunch of gotcha mechanics, microtransactions, stuff like that in, you can kiss my butt if you think I'm going to buy the $70 being the new norm, because it has to be. The other thing I'd say with that is just like, you know, I get it. There's funds, there's costs that come into making these games. But I would also argue you probably have a bunch of execs that are making way more money than they need to make while the game is being made. And
Take
so
a cut on the
skim off
execs.
They skim off the top. The people that are on the ground level, they're developing the games, they're not seeing the extra money. It's the execs. So don't try and give me crap and pretend like this has to happen. That you're
hurting them.
It only has to happen because you have to buy another vacation home.
They're making their 50 to 70 grand if they're lucky. The devs, you know what I mean? Unless you're managing a team, so they're not getting an extra dime. All that money goes, like Silent was saying, that all goes to the CEOs. That goes to their bonuses once they hit a certain threshold of sales as well. So none of the little guys are seeing that stuff. So.
No, it's unfair to make them come out there and pretend like it's actually a thing too. Like just because crap rolls downhill doesn't mean that they should be in the line of sight of said crap. But crazy. I feel like we kind of went off on a tangent right before.
We did. I'm sorry. I do that sometimes.
Oh, because I was gonna mention something about the $70 games, and this is one of my biggest issues now with $70 games. They're actually putting them out there, and they have issues. I mean, seriously, if you're going to release a $70 game, release it good. Don't release it with issues, because I want to pay my $70. I don't want to wait a whole freaking year, you know, like what happened to me with this game, Dying Light 2. I had to wait literally almost a whole freaking year for them to fix that game to be good. Another big example. One big example was Battlefield.
Oh, okay. Battlefield. That's a big example. That's a very good example, actually.
Oh my god!
I remember reviewing that with a buddy when I was working with someone else in the games industry, and everybody I know said this game should not release. It's not ready. I mean, the footage, some of the bugs we had, like Bugthesda. So we had some of the best bugs I've ever seen. We had guys in a chopper that weren't in the chopper. So the chopper turned. It's just the whole crew just floating in the air and stuff. Like, yeah, that game should have never seen the light of day. And a year later it was in Gamepass. Gee whiz, I wonder why. Like, you know.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, and that game came out, and look at the mess it came out. I mean, me and Sourblow were like, oh, let's go play the demo, and we saw the Wonder Woman airplane, back in the day, Wonder Woman airplane, which is invisible. We saw people like driving in the air without a plane.
Yes.
We saw tanks. We saw it was just.
It's
messy.
great now, though. It's
really
good
now.
right now.
It's really good right now. But
I suggest going back to it
But then you paying that money back then. And then you get this game like this. I mean, of course, damn. That really...
I think real quick, just to add this. I think what they should do is, because I know that sometimes it gets to a point where they have to release it because they need money in order to continue. What they can do is they can release it as a kind of like an early access, and let people know. And maybe, release it at a lower price and let people know, hey, if you play it, you might run into bugs because, we are still testing and improving some things. And then when it fully released, you put the $70 price there. But, don't charge $70 like crazy, say, and then...
I think it's just greed. I mean, they did it with Redfall. Redfall is a perfect example of absolute corporate greed. They knew it. They knew it was shit. There's no way they didn't. On top of that, they weren't even. Now they're saying in court, they're literally saying, we don't even think that's considered AAA. So they admitted putting a AAA price on a game that was trash. I played a lot of actually Redfall. I didn't hate it as much as other people did, but it is buggy friggin' mess. So they put a $70 price tag on a game they know for a fact. They said it themselves in court. It wasn't AAA. So there you go. It's like corporate greed, man.
It all comes back to the same thing we talk about over and over again: communication. The way that you do it, the way it's approached, makes a big difference. If you try and pull the wool over our eyes and sell us something that's not, we're not going to appreciate that. Exactly. As a consumer, we get pissed off when things like that happen. So
the early access idea is great. I've heard that other people say that too. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, yeah, that makes sense to me. At least it covers you as a consumer feeling better about it, and it covers Microsoft from not looking like what I just said, like greedy jerks, essentially, right? Because they're like, you can't blame us. It's early access, whatever. So I think that's a good idea.
I agree. So something else I did want to bring up real quick. Obviously, we don't really have a lot of details right now, so we're going to keep it pretty short so we can get to the main topics. But we did find out that we've got a Marvel's Black Panther game. It's going to end up having a single player. It's got a third-person gameplay. It's going to be coming from EA. It's a new Seattle-based studio, Cliffhanger Games, that's going to be bringing this thing out. I'm personally super excited about this, especially, given the past that Black Panthers had recently with the loss of their main Black Panther just on its own, like that hurts. So the idea that we can have more in that universe, I think, is really cool. I think it'd be really cool if they used his image, his likeness. Who knows if it'll happen?
I hope they do.
Who knows if they'll get if they'll do that, if they'll get approval by the family, by the Boseman family, Boseman, however you say the last name. But hopefully there's some homage, and I'm sure there's going to be some stuff in there, though. Probably at the least, they'll probably have a, in loving memory of on the credits.
If it's not him, and then there's like a statue of him in the game, I'm gonna tear up. Like I'm not, not gonna lie. I'm like, no, I need it to be him. Like, you know what I mean? That would, I think it would be fitting, even if they kind of follow the movie story or something like that. But I mean, even obviously they won't be able to get the voice. But there are some very phenomenal voice actors out there. They might be able to pull off the voice though with the technology you have these days. They're kind of like a deep fake it maybe. Like if you take all the things he's said through all the movies he's been in, you might be able to maybe put it together. In the AI.
I think the only thing that worries me about that is like who knows how that family sees that, and like
that's true.
I think about it for myself, right? Like what if, God forbid, like one of my family members die and someone comes up to me and is like, we'd like to memorialize them in something, but we want to use AI to make the voice. I don't know how I'd feel about that. Like I know.
No, well, I'm talking about it's actually his voice just from a broad spectrum.
Well, so you're just saying use it from all the different scenes,
right?
And stuff.
You would have to fill. You would have to use some AI to fill in the blanks of the words that you don't have, right? Yeah. But for me, I think that I would be okay with that as long as it was tasteful. And obviously, if family's getting paid, family's got to get paid. You're not getting that for free. But I don't know. I guess it is a weird subject. It's like the Tupac concerts or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that. That's where my mind goes. It reminds me of something like that. It is kind of awkward, but that's kind of the world we're kind of going towards that stuff. I remember they did that with I don't know if you guys saw The Sopranos, but his mother passed away, and they literally, it's the worst I've ever seen, like put her head like on like digitally, and it was bad. We've come a long way from The Sopranos, but when I saw that, I was like, no, like that felt wrong.
Not like this. Not now.
Like this. How you gonna do her like that, right?
Crazy. What do you think? Are you excited about this? I mean, obviously it's cool to see a new studio bringing this in. Obviously this is our first Black Panther foray. Really, like, yes, we had some of the other stuff. I think he was in was he in the Avengers game as a character at one point? I want to say he was.
I don't remember. I don't
I think so.
remember. I think
I
so.
think he was, but I think it was
I
like
think
one of those
I
things where
think
it was like just a
he wa-
mission or
he
something.
was. I think he was in Marvel Ultimate Alliance. That's the game he probably was on there. Yeah, I don't know if you guys ever played Marvel
Yeah.
Ultimate Alliance, which was for me one of the best Marvel games out there. But I think he was on that game. But I'm just happy that the guys who worked on Shadow of Mordor, which has one of
Yes.
Yep.
the
Yes,
best
dude.
freestyle combat.
I agree.
I mean, I don't care what people say. They can say, "Oh, Sekiro." They can say this. They can say that. No. You guys don't understand. I mean, I can sit down and put the CD in, play Shadow of Mordor, go into a fort, and just pick fights because I just
Such a
love when
good
I
game.
use. I just love when I used to slash, and then all of a sudden you get that instant kill thing when you press it or you chop its leg off or its head off, all that stuff. Oh my god! I mean that combat in the game was just awesome. I did not care that much about the story. I just loved the combat in the game. It was fantastic,
Mm-hmm.
fantastic. And if they actually do apply this to the Black Panther game, instead of, of course, they're not going to put an instant kill. I mean, you want to see Black Panther, ripping somebody's head off and eating its head or anything like that. We don't want to see that though. But we would like to see like a cool, if you do like the instant attack, like get a cool combo or something that can do something awesome. Different
Mm-hmm.
suits, different type of things, and I hope the upgrades too. You know, they are. I hope that the upgrades are also going to be super cool because I don't want it like to be boring upgrades. Like, oh, you get like a new slash type of. No. I want something cool, something like how you guys did with that Shadow of Mordor game. I mean, that game was. Oof. I mean, seriously, I love that game to death. It's one of my favorite games. It's on my top 10 list of favorite games of all time. If you guys never play it, go play it. The first one, the second
Yeah.
one was okay. The first one was.
First one, yeah, I agree with you. First
Ooh,
one was
man.
amazing.
It was a
Yep.
beast. It was a beast.
Yeah, that Nemesis system was
Mm-hmm.
what a great idea. I mean, it was such a good system that they, they freaking didn't allow anyone else to use it, which kind of pissed me off. But I don't know
Yeah.
if that's lapsed already. That was such a long time ago. I don't know if they still have a hold over the Nemesis system or not. But
That
I mean, you
was-
got a lot of people, from that studio like working on this game and Halo Infinite and God of War. So this is sounds like this is a very good Cliffhanger Games is got a good team set together to make
Yeah.
this. So
it's a top tier group, and I agree with you. Like, the Nemesis system was actually the thing that comes to mind for me. Is like that was always the thing that I enjoyed so much in those games. Sour, that does so Rhetri does bring up a point, is like, I wonder how long that license is for that, if it gets renewed, stuff like that, like what the timing is for that Nemesis system. Do you think if it's not time for that, if maybe we'll see them actually bring in like a new version of the Nemesis system, obviously without the same name but same type of idea? Obviously they could riff off of it and not get sued for it to an extent, but something like that would be really cool in the Black Panther game. Personally, I think so. But what's your thoughts?
I'm kind of like the, let's say the
it's still in
person that
effect
doesn't
till
that doesn't
2035.
doesn't know much
Oh, is
about
it?
the
Oh.
Nemesis system. I
Dude.
actually have not played Shadow.
Oh no,
Oh,
Sour, you are
you.
not doing good tonight.
Sarah, can you put yourself in timeout? Is that
I actually own it, but I haven't gotten to it, to be honest. So sorry.
I think you need to push that to the front of the list a little bit.
Yeah.
It's such a good game.
like they
Yeah.
said, the first game. Go into it.
Yeah.
just play
I
it.
would definitely the first one at
Yeah.
least.
The
Second
second
one
one was fine,
wasn't
but
that
the
good.
first
How
one.
long is the game though?
It's a bit
remember.
long, but once you
It
get
was-
No.
once you get like all the good upgrades, man, it's just you just jump in there. I'm telling you, I run into these forts, 20 enemies on top of me, man, and I kick all their butts. I mean, I don't. It's that simple.
The main story was probably realistically like 15 to 20 hours at most.
Something like that.
The biggest thing is just when you go into that world, you find yourself very much wrapped into what is going on around you, because the environment, the world you're in Mordor and everything, just it feels so cool. It feels very well lived in. There's characters, there's enemies everywhere. Like there's stuff to do all over the place. It's absolutely worth getting.
Yeah, the thing is, some of these games, like that I really want to play, which that is one. I don't like going in with like feeling rushed to beat it. To then because I am waiting for a game, and I'm currently I'm already playing 3 games right now, which I want to beat those 3 games. And then if I jump on this game, I might not have enough time, and then I'm gonna have to take a long pause. So I will probably wait on that, probably next year. So sorry guys, sorry to disappoint you.
Sorry, I just saw something in the
We
chat.
can't play them all, so that's for sure.
And so
not enough
Johnny
time.
Dome, I know Sour, you saw it as well, but he thought we were talking about the Indiana Jones
Oh
game
yeah, I saw
when
that.
we were talking
did he?
about when we were talking about Black Panther. And he made the comment. He's like, I think Harrison Ford would struggle on working on the Indiana Jones game if they have him. And all I can think of is like,
Yeah, because his bones would be creaking. Like,
dude. Well, no, not even that, man. Like, have you seen him in any of the movies and stuff that he plays in anymore? It's like the penitent man.
Yeah.
Well,
Like, he wouldn't even
can't-
get to the.
he can't be worse than who was it that went to the Jeff Keighley Awards? Or
Oh God. Which one are you talking about? Al Pacino?
Al
Oh,
Pacino.
Pacino, that was
Oh
so
my-
fucking funny, dude.
Oh my
that was like the best
God.
part of the whole damn thing. He's like, he kind of like waddled on stage, almost like, where am I? Like, what is
Dude,
going
he's
on?
He's like, oh, I gotta tell you, I have no idea where I'm at. Ooh,
Awesome.
We were actually live at the Plume Network. Shout out
Yeah.
to the big Plume. He's not here today. And oh my God, we had so much fun. That was one of the moments that
I think all of our jaws dropped when we heard that.
Yeah.
We're just like, what in God's name is going on right now? Why is this
I was-
happening?
I was at that one when the actor of the God of War went on.
Kratos? Oh, holy.
Yeah, Kratos.
Oh
and
my
then,
god.
10
And
minutes.
then the
Wrap
end
it up,
with
wrap
the
it up,
kid.
wrap
With the
it
kid.
Oh,
Jeez.
yes.
Oh, the kid that came on and says,
Bill Clinton.
what was
The Reformed Rabbi Bill Clinton.
the reform?
Oh man.
Dude, that was.
Yeah, we were like,
random.
what?
Oh,
Yeah.
What?
I think we went
man.
back like multiple times and kind of like rewound through it. We're like, wait, where did he come from? Oh,
Yeah.
there
I
he
just
was.
thought it was part of the
Yeah.
show. I legit was like, oh, he's with them. Because he walked up there like a gangster, like he was
Yeah.
with the group. So
Yeah.
I assumed he was. Guess he wasn't.
They started giving him looks at one point, and you see him look off to the side of the stage, and you can tell he's starting to get nervous. He's like,
Right.
I better wrap this up.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I screwed up.
But yeah, so we're gonna move on to the main topics. Obviously, we don't have all the time. We can't rob our dear Rhetri of his whole evening. So we
I'm
got
good,
we got to
guys. As long as you need to go.
Oh,
I don't want to be an excuse for you to cut this show short. You're good. We're good.
Don't tell Crazy Louie that, because then we'll go
All
to
right,
midnight,
sorry.
and I gotta go to bed at some point too.
I was gonna check if I was muted. No, he heard me.
If I can last, oh man, I will sit here last, to 2 a.m. if I can.
Pause.
I love
You
silence.
can
I
laugh.
was gonna say that.
Pause.
Tim is silent. That was
You
all
can
over.
last.
Yeah, I can last 2 a.m. Yeah, I can.
The
As
red pill or the blue pill?
as Sourblow said recently in a song, I think it was in the 80s. It was All Night Long. It was actually
All
one of his
night
biggest-
long. That's our blue song. Yeah.
So anyways,
song.
the first topic we're going to touch on real quick is GTA 5 and the Gamepass success that we've seen over the last little bit, right? So I just want to say before we dive into this, I think it's really funny. Jim Ryan told us that game devs hate Game Pass. Like it's such an anti-consumer thing. They hate it. It's such a terrible thing. Take-Two, who has one of the biggest games in the world, has now just put that game back on Game Pass.
Damn it.
For a third time.
Yeah, for a third time, exactly. Right. So obviously, like this has been a big thing for them. It ended up being available from April to August of 2021. the first time, and then, or no, sorry, that was the second time.
before.
They
Yeah, that was
also
the second.
had January through May 2020 was the first time with that one, and then obviously now it's back, and I mean, this is going to continue to be a thing for them, right? Is like anytime they put this out there,
Yep.
it's going to continue to just rake in more and more and more. We continue to see, like, when this thing jumps onto here, the sales chart bumps up. So when it goes into Game Pass, sales stay steady, but then once it drops off of Game Pass again, all of a sudden you see the sales cruise up through the roof again because people got that taste, right? They got that taste, they got that freebie, and then they're like, man, I want to play more of this. I want to play. And so then the sales blow up again, over and over again. In regards to this, so as we've seen with some of these ones, especially because there have been a lot of people that have come out and said, like, hey, Game Pass is great for us. Obviously, it's not always going to be the same. Everyone's got different terms and agreements that they have when they put these games in. I'm sure they are making lots of money on this game when they put this thing in. Like, I'm sure Microsoft says, like, here is a U-Haul truck of money to put this back on here. But it seems like on both sides, it's a very beneficial thing. So, goodness, I'm trying to think of the best way to really say this. Like, besides the fact that they are just selling a endless amount on this, Sour, what's your thought with this whole situation? Obviously, like, it is very much debunked the fact that devs don't like this. Again, things change back and forth depending on who it is and what the agreement is. But are you excited that GTA is back on here? Obviously, I think you probably own it, right? You have a copy? Oh no! Oh no!
I do, but I don't, because
What?
There's
Oh,
number
no.
three for me. Is the third
Three
one for the
strikes.
I do, but I don't. Hear me out. I
Oh,
had it on PC,
Oh,
but I don't have that account anymore, so I kind of don't have it anymore, I guess. But anyway, it's not a game that I'm currently looking to play. Like, I already played it in its time, and I don't know. I'm not big into GTA actually. I'm more of a Red Dead Redemption guy.
No, he's right. I'm with you, Sourblow.
I can't fault you for that. I love Red Dead Redemption, but I feel like with both of those games, for some reason, one way or another, I always bounce off of them. I go back to them eventually, and I play quite a bit, but then I feel like I just, for some reason, that game
That's a
does not
commitment.
draw me
That's
in.
I feel like those games are like reading like a 1,000-page novel.
Yes,
Like you better there better not be like any back catalog. There better not be anything that you want to play before or after. It's those games to me are dedicated time. And if you can't dedicate that time, I think a lot of people start playing a lot of those games and they bounce out and they just don't finish them. Because I think if you look at like Red Dead Redemption 2's like finishing, like how many people started it and how many people finished it, I think you'd be surprised at how low it is. Because it's a time suck, you know what I mean? It's like Elden Ring and games like that where you just gotta focus. You just don't touch anything else. You know what I mean?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about these games, right? With GTA 5, same thing with Red Dead Redemption, right? I mean, every time I go on TikTok, right? And TikTok, yes, TikTok, I'm talking about you. So yes, you can sponsor us one day. No, I'm just kidding. I love you, TikTok. But either way, though, every time I hop on TikTok, I see these videos and people just always find new stuff. It's incredible. I mean, literally, there's like a crazy lady in the bathroom. You go to her, she's like all crazy, right? She's acting all crazy. And there's this part in the game where you go and you visit the houses and literally it forms a pentagram. And now you understand why the lady is crazy. I mean, everything has a story into that game. It's insane. Everything you do in that game, there's always a story, something new. I mean, that's why I hopped back into it. I mean, I beat the game, I had fun with it. I was like, oh, okay, I beat it. I was with what's his name, John Forrison, John Harrison, whatever. What's his name? I forgot his name, but yeah, you know, I think
John
the game.
Marston?
Yeah, that's the guy. John Marston. Yeah,
That's Red Dead.
He was there. He was right there.
Yeah.
yeah. I was close. I was close. I
You're
was
close.
close.
John Deere, John Marston.
Yeah. But either way, but hey, right? Like I said, every time I see something on TikTok, something new, I'm like, whoa, let me go check this out. So I hop into the game and I go and I'm like, damn, it's true. And I'm just amazed with all the stuff you can do in this game. Same thing with GTA 5. I mean, you can find so much stuff in there. Like I remember they followed a truck, and the truck like it was taking prisoners to this place, and what the police were doing was they were just shooting the people. They're just leaving them there dead, and you saw like old bones and stuff like that. I'm like, what? Seriously, there's so much stuff in that game that you just got to sit there and just watch or chase down an NPC that for example that blind guy NPC that's not blind, and you point your gun at him and he gets scared and he starts running. You chase him down. And where he hides. It's incredible. I mean, that game has got so much stuff in it, so many stories, and you just got to sit down and just enjoy it. You just got to, like you said, Rhetri, sit there, enjoy, and just time and time, in there.
Yeah, I think it's like a mental thing. Like sometimes I'm just like, I don't know if I want to like take a roll of quarters and punch a hooker in the mouth today. And then sometimes I just don't feel like doing that playing GTA. I know it's super popular. I'm kind of with Sourblow. It's not. Sorry, I'm gonna if you guys you're making money on this YouTube thing, I'm about to fix that for you.
That one caught me off guard.
It's just I don't know. Like I played it a long time ago, and like it coming back to Game Pass for the third time. Like for me, the sun is set on that game personally. But I know the sales are gonna increase because it's one of those games. Once not every game is like this, but GTA when it gets back into the zeitgeist, sales are gonna bloom again. It's all of a sudden Steam sales, all the sales everywhere are gonna go up. Just because people are talking about it because it's in Game Pass, as we call it, like the Game Pass effect. Now, I don't think that works for every game, but a game like GTA, yeah, it's probably going to work every time you do it. You know what I mean? It's too big of a game,
Yeah.
I mean, there should be a million stories. It takes them 10 years to make the damn game, so there should be like all kinds of shit to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, and they keep adding and adding and adding
Right.
and adding so much stuff. It's insane.
Yeah, and GTA Online, man, that just makes so much money.
It makes them so much money.
You know what they need in GTA, and I hope they hear me. They gotta add a rope. They need to add a rope so that way you can tie down a person, just run with the car, like what they do it, and
I like
Oh
that.
my god.
put them in the trunk, stuff like that. Yeah, I mean that'd be pretty fun. That'd be pretty fun.
Yeah.
I think for me personally, the reason why maybe GTA doesn't resonate with me that much, because mostly when I played like I love RPGs and stuff like that, but also another thing is when I play the game, I usually want to like jump into this world that it's like so different from where I live or from what I have experienced. And I feel that I have experienced a lot of like GTA stuff because where I used to live on. So
are you punching hookers, Sourblow?
well, not that. Well,
Whoa.
not that far. But
Okay. I feel
like
you
the
though.
street
It's not
and all
it's not a
that.
real escape.
Yeah.
It's not like a real escape
exactly.
because
For me
you can look
personally.
out the window. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
I hear you. Like, hey, I
Man,
get it.
But regarding the whole thing with GTA coming back to Game Pass, I think it's great. I think it's a game that pulls a lot of players, and even though the CEO of Take-Two said that he doesn't like bringing his games, maybe they want to Game Pass. I think was the quote. I don't remember exactly what was the quote, but he does seem to get benefit because like last time it left, it got a significant boost in players and it made a lot of money. So as long like I seen several developers they're kind of sketchy on Game Pass because they don't believe on the model or maybe they don't think it's gonna make them as much money. But most developers, or I would say all the ones that I've seen that put their game on Game Pass, they're usually significantly happy with it because, I mean, one, you get money up front, and two, sometimes you get sales because of that. Because you try a game, you like it, you either purchase it. Like I have purchased games that I have actually finished just because I like the game. I see it on sale, and I'm like, you know what? Let me support this developer because I really enjoy this game. And sometimes the game leaves before you finish it, and you just purchase the game. So that's
Sour.
I think sales go up too outside. I think like as like a publisher or developer, if you're getting sales, you don't necessarily care where they come from. And I think when it hits Game Pass, because everyone's talking about it, that you actually get sales everywhere outside of Xbox.
Yep.
So you see Steam sales go up. You see, any other PC storefronts go up. You see it on PlayStation, they go up. So I think there is an effect just to be, talked about on the internet that helps you. People see it, people buy it, and GTA is a great example because it's probably super cheap right now because it's it's a pretty
free
old game.
marketing too.
Either way, Sour, you're not giving them full support. I mean, you gotta be like those PlayStation boys and buy it at $70, man. What are you doing, Sourblow? You gotta buy it at 70, not on sale, man. That is not support.
They supported it. They supported it so well, Louis, that they have to bundle it with the PlayStation. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay,
know?
okay.
I
That's
don't
what they keep.
support
That's what they keep
developer.
doing.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I did support Bethesda with Starfield.
Yeah, you did.
I bet you
But
did. Yeah.
here's the thing, though, and it's the honest truth. Game Pass does help game sales. I mean, people might say no, it does not, but hey, it does. I mean, GTA got off, and 5 days later, their sales boosted up to probably what was it, top 10, top five, was it Sourblow? I forgot. But hey, it was off in 2021. I think it was the last time they put it on there, and their sales boost 5 days later. Why? Because people tried it. People who looked at this game like, I don't want to play this, but hey, they saw it on Game Pass and said, let me try it out, enjoy it, and be like, oh, let me get this. Even though, of course, some people might say, who does not know GTA? And guys, trust me, there's a lot of people.
Plenty of people.
There's a ton of people who just don't know GTA. I'm telling you all. There's a ton of people who don't know GTA. There's a ton of people who might say Call of Duty sucks, and then they try it, be like, oh, I love it. Let me go get it. That's how it is. That's how it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, very much like we were talking about, obviously, like for developers, it ends up working out to be a good deal throwing it in here. We've seen it time and time again. Even if Strauss isn't necessarily into putting it on day one, you look at what they see as far as sales go when this thing hits, and it's obviously making a resounding effect. They're seeing it. They've come back for a third time now. They got
you don't
that
come
money.
back 3 times.
No,
You do
no.
not
If
do
it's
that.
not a good deal, even if
Right.
good money is put in there, like you're concerned about your brand, right? Like they are very much concerned about GTA being a brand that doesn't fail because they know
Yeah.
it's their cash cow. So if you put this in, like if it's not good for them, they're not going to put it there.
Right.
If it's not a good deal, they're not going to put it there. So we know from some of the stuff actually that Benji Sales has posted recently as well. We found some. We had heard some key Xbox game stats for Game Pass in regards to the GDC 2022 talk that they ended up doing. We ended up finding out a lot about subscription services. In regards to households and stuff, they ended up saying that the average U.S. household has 9 subscription services, 25 connected devices. Consumers spend an average of $273 a month on subscription services, which is funny because, we used to throw a fit about what we were paying Comcast or whoever for like a DVR and stuff like that. But the way that they get you is they nickel and dime you.
There.
Yeah,
we're right
they
back
nickel
where we
and
were.
dime you on different subscription services, because what sounds horrible is if Comcast said, "Hey, we're charging you $275 a month." What doesn't sound horrible is if you hear, "Oh, well, Netflix is only charging you $17.99. Disney's only charging you $10." Like it nickels and dimes you.
Death by 1,000 cuts, brother.
Exactly.
That's what it is. Yep.
Exactly. So I mean, obviously, we see stuff like this. We see that these things have started to spread out more and more into households and stuff, and especially in a current climate where like, money's tight. Money's tight for
Yeah.
a lot of people. Money doesn't go as far anymore either. It goes back to what we
Nope.
were talking about previously, is like, I'll be the cheap ass and I will get my games on Game Pass. Just like what our super chat was saying when we were talking about all that stuff, right? Is like, literally, I'm going to benefit from this because of all the other subscription models that I have in my household. I'm sure all of us can probably agree on that. And I'm pretty sure we can all agree that Comcast is a terrible company.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, just
We're all
don't tell
gonna,
me. I work for
we're all
them.
gonna save money. Yeah, Comcast is awful. Yeah. 100%.
Poor
But-
Comcast. I love Comcast.
Poor Comcast.
Oh, sure,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Poor
Crazy.
Comcast. They need your money.
I don't even have Comcast, so yeah.
I used to
So-
work for them, so the things I saw.
Yeah, I'm
very
sure.
bad.
Yeah.
No man should
Yeah,
ever
my buddy
see.
used to work for him. Yeah, he used to tell me stories, and like, oh, that's messed up. I was a little shocked at the number of. Maybe I shouldn't be shocked, but the number of subscriptions, like 9 on an average. That means some people have like 12. Like, holy shit! What?
Yeah.
Like on that's just supposed to be entertainment, right? Because if I count all my subscriptions, I'm probably well beyond 9. But are we just talking like entertainment subscriptions? Is that what that was, Silent? Like Netflix, like all that sort of stuff? Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Monthly
crazy.
in a household, which blows my mind because, like, again, it's
a
and
lot.
that's how they get you. Is
Yeah.
you don't pay attention to those things.
Well, that's why they're
It's-
trying to kill the sharing too. Because like
Yeah.
I probably had 4 myself, but I had probably over 10 subscriptions because we were all sharing.
Yeah.
Which
Oh,
Netflix
100%.
and HBO and all those guys are
Yeah,
starting to
Netflix
wise
has been,
up.
Netflix
Yeah,
has
not
been
Net-
annoying with that thing. I mean, I'm telling you,
Oh, yeah.
my father he's like what 66, 67 years old, and he has to call me all the time in order to access the Netflix because I have my account on his thing. It's like, oh, what should I put? And every time he always presses the wrong button, so I have to grab my damn car, go over there, and fix the damn thing. Seriously, Netflix, stop with that crap. Or I'm unsubscribing. That's annoying. Oh Lord, at least give us like the option. Okay, pick five users that can use your Netflix, and that's about it. We're down with that. That's cool. That's it. Dang.
You know what, crazy? I agree with you. That is annoying. You know something else that's really annoying though is
Oh.
how long this ActiBliz situation continues.
Good transition. Didn't see that coming, did you guys?
That was a good one right there, man.
So obviously we heard, and there was much celebration yesterday in regards to the fact that we heard that Judge Corley ended up giving us not us, good Lord. I'm not Microsoft.
I do the same thing.
I am not
I
Microsoft.
I say us, and everyone's like, see, that's
See?
where you're shill. I'm like, yeah, that's probably true.
Yep, that's right. They
Fanboys.
paid for this house. They paid for this house. They paid for my new car. It's, but yeah, no. So obviously, like they gave Microsoft the A-OK, like, hey, this is fine. Everything's good. We're going with this. You guys are free to make this purchase. We have just found out over the last little bit, of which Crazy, I think, almost had a stroke,
Yes,
or a
I
heart
was
attack or something
pissed.
when he saw it. But obviously, so the FTC has appealed this deal, which they were given, I believe it was up until Friday this week. It was the time
Friday
frame.
at
It was
midnight.
so it was originally supposed to be later next week, I think midweek. Corley ended up telling them like, hey, you have to have this in by Friday. They beat them to the punch. They dropped that news today. So the question at this point, right, obviously, is where do we go from here? I think a lot of the conversation, I think Rhetri, even when you and I were talking yesterday, I think the general consensus is like, yes, they're going to do this, unfortunately,
Yep.
but is there a path forward for them? I personally don't think so. But
You mean for
Rhetri,
you mean for FTC?
for the FTC? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
I
right.
should be more
Let's
clear.
clarify that. Yeah,
A path forward for the
it's just
FTC.
It's just a waste of money. It's just a waste of money. They're going to federal court for them versus the hearing. They lost at the hearing. The federal court's gonna be worse. I just don't see it. I can't see them winning. But honestly, to me, like I've been saying this for a while, like on Boom's podcast and other podcasts. I'm not worried about the FTC. I'm worried about the CMA. I have been for a long time. I think they're the bigger problem. I'm more curious of what the hell is going to happen with them. If we're just gonna pull Cloud from the UK, we're gonna pull a Call of Duty Cloud out of UK. I'm hearing all kinds of crazy stuff. Are we gonna pull out of UK altogether and have a third party publisher publish all Activision Blizzard games for the UK, which is another like nuclear option I've heard. For me, the FTC is it's kind of a non-story. Am I surprised that they did this? Absolutely not. They're just like, I don't feel like they live in the same world as the rest of us. You're kind of like in your little bubble and you think you have a chance, while the rest of us are looking at common sense and just being logical and shaking our heads and going, how do you think you're going to win this? Like, I think maybe they will win. I'll eat that L, but I can't see Microsoft lawyers losing this after what I just listened to for over 30 hours in the hearing and just watch the FTC just get their asses handed to them. And if cloud is the problem, if a non-existent market is the problem and they lose on that grounds, then there is no justice in the world, essentially. You know what I mean? That's the only side that makes me think we have a chance of losing is if you're in front of the wrong person, right? Because people are biased, people can be stupid. But I don't know. Like it's. Go ahead, Louis. Go ahead.
I was gonna say we just got a major breaking news. Microsoft has responded to the FTC's decision to appeal Judge Corley's ruling. Here's what Microsoft said: "We are disappointed that the FTC is continuing to pursue what has become a demonstrate blah blah blah. What was it? Demonstrate? Somebody say it for me.
Demonstration? Is that what you're trying to say?
Demonstrably weak case.
Oh, demonstrably.
Demonstrably, thank you. Is that oh Lord?
It's a word.
Case.
That's a word.
And this is the part where it lights everything up. And we will oppose further efforts to delay the ability to move forward."
Yep.
Holy poop nuggets.
No, 100%. Like this is what they were lining themselves up to from day one. Like I think. What, Rhetri, I think you were talking about it, but I think I was even hearing it when I was listening to Boom Show, is like, this is stuff they've prepared for. Yes. I guarantee you, because this is a game of chess, essentially.
Yeah.
You don't pay this much money and get involved in something like this unless you're preparing ahead of time. You have the option A, you have the option B.
There's the option A and then option B. And there's a team, there's the people that we know about. We know their names, like Beth Wilkinson. We know the main lawyers. And there is about 20 other people in a room that have thought of every damn scenario you can possibly think of that to argue this thing. That's their whole job is to just figure out what the FTC is going to try how they're going to try to stop this. And and then they feed all that information to the high profile lawyers. This goes way the amount of money. Like I just cannot see Microsoft losing this. The case is weak. It always has been. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say on this. The CMA is the problem in my opinion. This is a joke. It's a waste of time. They're not going to lose. They're not losing this. There's no way. Yeah, and I'll take that. And if I'm wrong, I'll take the L. But I just can't see it. I just can't.
So I think because we can even go like way back to the very beginning of this, and there are some things right where like we were having this conversation yesterday, and I brought it up. Right, is like there have been a lot of people out there that have been very adamant about the fact that this thing is canceled from day one. This will never go through. This is not a thing. There's harm, blah, blah, blah. Then you've heard people, obviously, that were like, this will happen no matter what. It's going down. I think, again and again, we continue to see, like, every time we think we've got a bead on how this is going to go, it usually goes the other way. And it surprises a lot of us for a minute.
But are you surprised? Are you surprised that FTC is doing this? Because I'm definitely not.
No. Right. But I think the thing that I'm saying is like nervous about the moving forward because I think it still goes through. I think FTC just gets basically a shoulder shrug and we're done. We're done with you. Get out of our way. This is happening whether you like it or not. You don't have a case. And your theory of harm is exactly that, a theory of harm, not an actual proof of evidence. You don't have any proof that this is going to be the way that it is. But
it's different, right? The hearing was theories. This has to be actual harm. So now they have to prove more than they had to where they just got their asses handed to them in the hearing. So good luck.
And it literally, it literally seems like it comes down to a situation where you've got an upstart that just got a position in government, is very excited about the fact that she gets to make a big case, of which the other ones that she's tried to do have failed. You try and throw something out like this, and I personally think like it's a matter of like arrogance. It's not that she has any ground to stand on. It's arrogance.
Young and hungry, man. I think she's just young and she's got to prove something. And she's gotten her butt kicked, what, 8 times, 9 times? I lost count how many times she has lost in a row.
Yeah.
It's
7, and this will be 8.
Is it 7? Okay, this right. So and this will be 8. Yeah.
Of which I think even Boom and some of the other guys were talking about is like the fact that, doing this, like I even mentioned on his show, is like, this doesn't look good for United States government, for her to come out and do these type of things. Personally, if I were in that scenario, I would have said, listen, I'm glad that you're gung-ho about this. You want to make a difference. You want to do things. We're going to find you something else you can work on, though. Like maybe we put you in energy and like green renewable energy or something, so you can make a difference. You mean like
totally bring her somewhere else? Okay.
Maybe move her to something
like,
else.
Go deal with Amazon or something, but you're talking about like removing her into it.
I'm thinking like if I were someone in that decision, I think I would realize like the constant failures that have come up to this at this point, the amount of wasted tax dollars we've seen, and been like, maybe this isn't a good fit for you, and we should probably cut our losses and put you in a different department at the least.
Well,
but that's
I want to know where they are in their budget, right? So I know they have like I think it's like $375 million for the budget. So by the way, that's what we're all paying for them to fight stupid fights. I'm not an anti-FTC person. I'm just a logical person, right? It's not because I'm a Gamepass. Well, I benefit from this happening, so there is some bias there. Like there's no doubt this goes through. I save money, so don't you, as a gamer. But there's also the logical side of this, and once you start crunching the numbers, Mike Johnson in chat, it just makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, look, you got to realize we think these guys are the smartest people in the room. They're not. They got the math wrong twice. Okay, like not even the FTC, a CMA. So when a 5th grader can do better math than you, when you're taking 5 years of profits versus 1 year of losses, that's kind of a problem. That's a problem, guys. Like it's just basic math. So it's you can hate this deal if you're a PlayStation gamer, fine. Yep. You don't lose much out of this, in my opinion, if you're a PlayStation gamer, but. Is this good for consumers? Yes. Is this good for gaming? Yes. Does this make 3rd place more competitive? Yep. Yes.
I would actually
maybe being even with Sony. Why the fuck would that be a bad thing? Don't you want? Yeah. That's pro competition. That is literally definition of competition.
Right? I would actually argue that this would also help Sony, PlayStation players, because if this goes through,
it's gonna get weird.
Basically, like Sony is gonna have to do things for the consumer. Like they're gonna have to do things for their services. Which, at first, everyone used to on that side used to hate live service, service subscription, and all of a sudden, when PlayStation Plus started getting better, everyone started saying, "Oh, it's a better service," and all of this.
Right.
So apparently they do like it if they bring the A game. So I think
Yes.
if anything, if this goes through, it's gonna make Sony try to bring their A game, and it's gonna be better
Yep.
for both platforms. So I don't
Sour
see
brings
how.
up a fantastic point.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's absolutely 100% right. Because look at what Microsoft did when they were getting their teeth kicked in. You got backwards compatibility. No one else was doing that. You got quick resume. You got the most powerful console ever. You got Game Pass. Sourblow is 100% right. If your back is against the wall and you think you might lose some market share, you're going to start getting weird with it. You're going to start doing different things. You're going to come out with 10 gas games, which 2 of will probably only work. But that's what you do. That's what you do. Like, the consumers usually win when competition becomes greater. Sour's absolutely 1,000% right in my opinion.
But we do have to be worried because if you look at the chat, we got Jim Ryan and he said he got Lena Khan's back. So
he's in my chat too usually.
we should be worried about that.
I got to give him props because he also posted that you did great in the disposition. So cheers, cheers to you, sir. You
love
did
Jim Ryan around
great.
Yeah.
You did great.
That's it, great.
All,
Oh man.
all I know is that this damn deal is like the Avril Lavigne song, you know. You know that song that goes, "Why the hell gotta keep things so complicated? I see the way you're acting like everybody else gets me frustrated." Every time I see that, that's the song that pops into my head from Avril Lavigne all the time, man. All the time.
Crazy. I got 2 things.
What? What's
The
up?
first thing is going to be about your comment just now. Avril Lavigne, is that the Dominican version of? Is that the Dominican version of Avril Lavigne?
Oh, that's her name, Avril Lavigne? I thought it was Avril Lavigne.
Levinsky.
I am
Crazy for
loading,
that. This is what you get.
I am
love
loading.
it.
I am loading Avril Lavign's music right now on YouTube Music, so I can listen to that on the way to work tomorrow.
I thought it was. I seriously thought it was that.
Oh, man.
But either way, though.
No, you're in timeout, homie. No one can hear you.
Oh, damn.
Wait to the camera.
In timeout, no one can hear you scream.
No one can hear me scream.
The other thing I
Or
was
Avril
going to say
Lavigne.
is, as a U.S. citizen, and I'm sure Sour and Rhetri probably assume the same thing. Like, I assume they think the same. Is there are a lot of things I would like to see my tax dollars put towards, and putting up a false effort trying to pretend like you're something is not what I want to spend my money on. I want you to focus on things that actually make a difference instead of something where you're just trying to make a name for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's directly pointed at our dear Lena Khan.
The thing is, they're using our tax money, and then when you see their case is about defending a company that is not even in a United States company.
Foreign company.
So it's like it's a foreign company.
Yeah.
Right? It makes no sense. So
No, that's why I argue it feels like it's more and more just a matter of her trying to make a name for herself and show that she's a big person instead of an actual case. Because why is she trying to go to bat for someone that's not even a U.S. company?
I think it's like pounding your chest. I beat Microsoft. I beat one of the biggest companies on planet Earth.
Yeah. She's trying to be in the
looks
history.
really good on your resume, right? It looks great.
She's trying to
you gotta
make
win
the rest of her life, and it's in the way to do it.
It stinks. It's really sad. Like, as a Democrat, I'm seeing a lot of my Democrats talk all kinds of crap about this deal, and I'm getting really pissed. Pissed enough where I'm seriously thinking of switching sides. Like, I know it sounds ridiculous, but when you see the people you vote for stick their nose in stuff that they clearly have no effing clue what they're talking about, but act like they do and just say it's a bad deal when they haven't probably read a single paper having to do with this case, it really kind of irks me. I mean, I hate to make this political, but this is political. This is absolutely political. This is like, I agree with Cypher. This is someone who's trying to launch her career.
But I think I would argue it's not even as surface level as just it's political. Because the thing is like there's plenty of good people that we podcast with, that we hang out with all the time, that are on Republican side, Democrat, independent, whatever.
100%.
The problem is the extremes. And that's what we
Right.
continue to run into is like, I have no problem with what you are politically. I don't care. As long as you work in reality and you don't make a big fit about stuff in an extreme manner.
Guys,
Oh,
before I was
oh,
gonna jump, before I was gonna
Is
jump
he
into
out of jail? Okay.
super chat, I was gonna say something.
let me just say this real
All
quick,
right, go for it, go for it.
because your guys talking about her career and her
She's so
being
beautiful.
her being 7-0. What if she's trying to rival the Undertaker streak?
Hey,
That could be a thing.
hey, the Undertaker was
that'd
a
be
great
great.
wrestler in
He
the
was so
90s.
good. He was one of my favorites when I was watching it back in the day.
Mhm.
But crazy. You had something to say.
Yeah, I was gonna say something, and this is something that I have a feeling about, right? And I could be wrong, but could this all be just a way to stall for them to get more proof in order to go against the deal? Because here's the thing, though, the CMA same day, everybody thought they took a knee, they like kneel down and said, "Hey, let's sit down and talk." But then today, you see them like, "Hey, we are still in our same stance. Like they're still aggressive about this, right?"
Well, that doesn't mean they didn't talk. That just means they didn't like what they had to say. You know what I
Okay,
mean? Like that doesn't mean
but
like Microsoft didn't have a conversation with the C. We know they did actually. We
no,
know that because
yeah,
Cat got
no,
paperwork, but they
yeah.
just probably didn't like what
What
Microsoft offered.
was offered? Yeah. So
Yeah.
all right. So basically, right, what I'm saying, are you trying to do like a stall thing? Because, okay, let's say this appeal, which, all right, it gets approved this Friday. I hope it does not, because really, if that appeal gets on Friday, that means, oh Lord, more ABK talk, because it will probably extend and we'll probably have to renegotiate and yada 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 and all this stuff, right? Let's say this appeal does go by and everything, and man, it could be like a way to stall, because remember, these CMA FTC were trying to push this far away from the
Yeah.
day from the buy. They're trying to push this
Well,
far away in order for them to work something up. So could this be like they're looking for a way to stall this thing? This,
remember, crazy purple argument, which we
yeah,
said she has a point there.
yeah,
Is they're just trying to stall for time in order for
Mm-hmm.
the deal to go past the time,
yeah.
and then having Microsoft and Activision Blizzard to renegotiate.
Negotiate, yeah,
And what they're hopeful for is that they're not unable to renegotiate, and that's how the deal falls through.
yeah,
So it
and
kind of
Right.
makes sense that,
yeah.
but at the same time, it's like they have no argument. So that's the problem right there.
Not,
If
yeah,
they at
right
least
now,
would have
yeah.
had like one argument, but it's like I don't see the argument anywhere.
Yeah.
But
I
then,
mean,
but
I
then,
agree with Crazy though. I think they were stalling. I mean, they've had
yes,
21 months to come up with evidence, and they haven't. So them just continuing doing this and even doing the appeal to me is a stall tactic, because what we do know, or at least what we were told during the hearing from Bobby himself, they're gonna walk. They were ready to walk if the hearing didn't go their way, which to me was a little surprising, a little disappointing. I feel like you could have renegotiated and done this fight for for a few more months or something like that, especially on the biggest deal, not in gaming, in tech, period.
In general, yeah.
In general, for Microsoft in their history, it seems like something you would want to do because it is beneficial to both sides. But yeah, I think Louis is right. I think it's a stall tactic, and
it's a stall
this
tactic.
needs to wrap up soon because
Yeah, it does. It does. I mean, we're like what,
Bobby was saying
6 days?
shareholders might not, sounded like the shareholders are going to go, we're done past the 18th or 19th or whatever day, July. Yeah.
And speaking about shareholders and money and all this cool stuff, we got a $5 super chat from Adidas 20. It says it's a new Xbox. Just enjoy the ride. What's up, Big Plume? Well, Adidas, sorry to say, but Big Plume is out coaching Dominican baseball players today because that's his second job.
He's hurting.
The
He's hurting cats.
Canadian is
The
coaching
Canadian is
the-
hurting
the
cats.
DR
Yeah,
baseball players.
he's coaching
He's
the
hurting
baseball
cats.
players, to be better. So he's not here with us today. He did tell us he was going to go coach. So we'll be like, okay,
We
cool,
actually I actually
you.
know he has a huge OnlyFan base, so that's why I put his picture there
Yeah.
to grab his fan base.
Sweet. I'm joining right now. Excellent.
But hey,
It's because of those
monkey,
sweet feet pics that he has
red,
on OnlyFans.
Oh man.
red monkey butt, which I have to say that okay, red monkey butt brought up a good point. Why did MS and BK agree to pause the cat tribunal? Could have been a big mistake. I'm gonna tell you something. If it's a possibility for them to actually come into terms, it could not be a mistake. But like how we were saying, for me, as I'm seeing it, I'm just saying it as I'm seeing it. It's a theory. I don't know if I could be right. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, okay, cool. If I'm right, okay, cool too. But hey, it could be a stall tactic from their side because hey, look right now. The FTC already just put their appeal out there right away, and that was super fast. I mean, they were more faster than Flash right there. I mean, literally, it's not even been 24 hours, and boom, let's put this right over here. So since they have been in talks, right? They have been in talks. Let's just say it like this because they said no, they haven't been in talks, but yes, we know they were. Right, Lena Khan drinking tea and eating donuts. Even though Lena Khan, you're so beautiful, I love you. But
Crazy.
what's up?
We actually got another super chat, but
I'm
before
going.
you read that one, I actually want to read something from the same person that's giving the super chat. He says Nintendo is the market leader. That's a fact. I would actually agree with you, Mr. Joanna Dark, but remember in the court, Nintendo doesn't count. So according to
Oh,
There is no
oh,
spoon. There is
Oh.
no Nintendo.
and speaking about
It
dark,
feels
Nintendo
it feels so dirty for you to do that and then us thank him.
That's true.
no, he's
That's
part of the
true.
family. He knows.
Oh man! And speaking about Mr. Dark, he says in a $5 super chat. Oh snap! I didn't notice the super chat. Congratulations to my good friends for hitting this milestone. Go Veronica. Hey, wait, hey,
I can't.
is
Can you
the
even
best
say
way-
that without laughing?
Code Veronica A. That was Code Veronica
Veronica
A.
was-
Just
That's his
Which one was that one?
Canadian thing.
well,
going
no,
through, or-
no, no. There's
Is Veronica? Is there a
there's a
Veronica
back
A?
no there's a backstory behind this, so
Okay.
I don't know if a lot of people know about it.
Yeah.
Dark and I have actually talked about it off the scene, but there was a Code Veronica A and a Code Veronica B that actually had been made. And Code Veronica A was the good one that wasn't going to have tank controls and stuff, and they opted to release Code Veronica B instead. So Code Veronica B
I
is
don't
what
believe
we
you.
actually got.
Oh man.
There was no
Man.
good version of Veronica. I don't believe it.
Oh man.
Sorry, Dark. I love you.
Oh man.
Sorry, bud. Thank you for the support.
But like I said, they could be in talks. Let's say I hope everything ends up peacefully because really we're just tired of this whole ABK deal.
Yeah.
I mean, if it goes through, awesome. If it fails, sad for a lot of Xbox fans. Yes, sad for a lot of people who are waiting for that. But hey, as us as podcasters, man, we're just I love MS. I'm not saying that that I'll be happy the deal goes through, but dang, I'm just tired of talking about it because every time there's always something new. It's like it sounds like a tele freaking novela, man. If you guys never seen a telenovela, it's like that. Seriously, I'm tired. It's like the drama now. Like yesterday, Microsoft won, and today, dun, 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 we see right away FTC appeals. Damn.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
I think people on the internet too go to extremes too quickly.
Yeah.
Like you hear a little bit of news, like oh they lost. Hear a little bit of news, oh they won. Like
they won.
it's the truth is somewhere in the middle, right? Like I think the pause was because Microsoft's like, all right, let's just try to give CMA another shot. Let's offer you some remedies in cloud. And CMA said, "F you, we don't like it." And I think that's what happened. You know what I mean? I think they tried to come to an agreement and they just didn't agree again. And I think it'll probably go right back to CAT. I think it'll just go right back to the CAT tribunal. So.
And here's something that I tell everybody now that they ask me even in private about the deal. This is something I got to say about the deal. Hey, people say it's blocked, this and that. Unless it's totally, completely blocked, that means that Microsoft cannot go left, right, center, up, down. They cannot go anywhere. That means the deal's done. So at the end of the day, we have to wait till MS makes its decision. That's the only thing I gotta say about that. I mean, we gotta wait till the 18th event. MS is gonna say, "Hey, I'm going for it. Hey, we're gonna renegotiate," or "Hey, I'm just gonna kill it. I'm not gonna deal with it." That's the final word. Because now, if these guys blocked it totally, then we all know MS will pull away right away. But right now,
Well,
it's
Blizzard,
under.
Activision, they got MS. I don't. In my opinion, MS will never pull away. I think it's Activision. Blizzard is the ones that might pull away. Like in my opinion, if they were going to renegotiate, I think Microsoft would, and it sounds like Activision wouldn't. Like I think they're just tired of it. You know what I mean? I mean, they basically said in court. So I mean, I have to just take Bobby at his word. But you know, it's Bobby, so you know, he's been known to lie.
I was gonna say I actually can also see a scenario where Microsoft could pull out, and this is only because the success that ChatGPT has been having. If they see another opportunity and they feel like this is gonna waste so much time and resources, and they can be like, why not spend it on something related to ChatGPT? That could be something.
But they already did though. They already put $10 billion into it already. So
yeah, I mean, but it's.
I mean, they could put more. I guess
it could put more,
a lot more. But then we're gonna hear about Elon bitching about it, like what you did last time.
I just want to highlight a couple things I'm seeing in the chat. Of which, chat, you are on fire this evening. There have been some pretty funny things.
G-Wade just put a funny thing out there.
Yes, yeah. So I was going to get to that one here in a second. So Toxic Spitter, of course, is having quite a trend this evening of some pretty good ones. He said FTC filed the appeal with crayons. That sounds like a crazy
set of Sharpies. They're down.
I think I'm starting to think I got a bunch of family members in the FTC. I'm starting to think that. Seriously, I'm starting to really think that. I mean, are they a bunch of Louis or what? I mean, really?
Just a bunch of Louis.
Hey, you said it, not me. So it's fine. The other thing that was posted was by G-Wave. G-Wave, shout out, bud. By the way, his show is actually right after this evening. Mm-hmm. So look him up on YouTube. I'll see if I can get the link in there. But he actually does his show right after us. But he makes a comment. He says, "Never pull out." Of which... hats off to you, bud. That was great.
He must be young on my face, because I can't do that no more.
But all I know is, as King David would say, we will still hold the line till the end of the day.
God, I wish we had the sound effect for that, but I'm pretty sure he's actually charging royalties on that.
Then we're screwed because Dave uses that a lot. We're gonna owe King David so much damn money.
Oh man, that's what
I'm gonna ask King about that this weekend.
That's right.
Be like, yo, we've got both of you right here. So what's the word? How much does he owe you at this point? Is he putting on a tab? Like what are we doing?
Right.
Oh man, but man, I just want to get this done with. I just want just to say yes, we're moving forward. No, I'm telling you, if they renegotiate, I mean, I'm gonna go on Twitter and be like, shit, I'm going on a warpath right there because I'm tired of it. But
I know, I don't even know how I feel about it. Like half of me's like just don't renegotiate. Like I want it to happen, but I just don't want it to drag on. I'd rather move on, like get Sega, go buy some other people or something. You know what I mean? If you can't make it happen the next couple of weeks, then whatever.
No, last couple of weeks. Last couple of days, because it got to 18, which lands on next Tuesday. Next Tuesday is the final day of that deal. So if they don't reach to anything, whoo, man, I don't know what's gonna happen. But it will be interesting to see what will happen. But yeah, FTC appeal, CMA taking the knee, and then today becoming aggressive. When I saw that the CMA was becoming aggressive, I was like, oh, I have a feeling.
You know what?
I'm sorry. Is Jim right? Is that you, FarQ? FarQ, that's you, isn't it?
It's probably
yes,
Fark.
It is.
Yeah, it probably is. This seems like a Fark move.
The last one was good.
Man, Jim, you gotta get me Lena's phone. I mean, Lena for me is beautiful. She's such a beautiful lady.
Oh my God. You know what would be interesting?
What?
We have part 1. What if next week, if we can have part 2 of Ecstasy Purple Haze?
Oh my!
The final one.
I heard it got spicy on that show. I did
Oh,
hear
yeah,
that. Yeah.
A little bit.
I
A little
heard
bit.
not everyone liked their take, but you know what? That's what you're supposed to do, though, right? That's what you're supposed to do in podcasts like this. Like, we don't want an echo chamber, right? Like, sometimes I go on Boom Show and I don't agree with what he says or what anyone says. Like, that's how you got to think on your own. So she brought up some good points. So
She
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
it was a good.
She did. There were a couple of things she brought to the table, which I'm sure at the time, and again, like props to Purple for coming out and having that conversation at that time.
Yeah.
I'm sure she probably felt like she was being doggy piled on a bit, but I appreciate her take on it. And there were some things she brought up that I hadn't really thought about that were valid points. So, I get it. And like you're saying, is like everyone's got a different opinion on this. Not everyone's going to jive, but that's why we get together, right? Is to have these conversations.
Yeah.
So,
If you can do it like a normal human being without being a jerk, then don't go after it. Don't go after Purple for having a different opinion.
always,
It's
always be,
2023.
Yeah.
I know having a different opinion isn't cool anymore, but we got to stop that. We got to stop
always,
that crap.
always be nice in the chat.
Yes.
We all have opinions. Just because we don't like each other's opinions doesn't mean we gotta get.
And not only that, and hey, I'm gonna say something though, and she has been like crystal clear about it. Some people say it would sound like fangirlish, but she never sounded like a fan, because usually the fanboys always try to trash talk the other company, but no, she's just straight on. This could actually happen. This could probably go through. I mean, this could happen, this and that. And hey, she brought up some good points. I mean, look, today we got an appeal, so maybe it can happen. It can.
Yep.
We got an appeal today, and we don't know when it's going to be approved, but it can happen. I mean, the FTC could probably win their appeal.
Yeah.
You never know. Yeah.
You never know. We just have, like I said, I mean, people are saying, yeah, Rhetri, Microsoft won. I was like, they won a battle, but the war's not over.
Yep, and I will give Crazy credit. Is like he was saying that back behind the scenes when things happened yesterday, he did say he's like it's not over yet.
Yeah,
and I agree. Is like it's easy for us to get excited about these things and blah blah blah, and fanboyism and all that stuff like does happen in these situations. You see it running rampant. Sometimes I'm guilty of it because I'm excited because
I
again,
am.
Just like Rhetri was saying,
I said it during the hearing. I put it on Twitter because I knew Corley was siding with it. But for me, Microsoft has won up here. But what matters is they haven't won on paper, right? Like Lou was saying, and that's what really matters. But we'll see.
Yeah, but if you ever want fanboyism, just blatant fanboyism, I know this guy that's really into Dreamcast.
No, don't even do that.
Has he ever
beautiful
mentioned?
Man.
I'm so glad he's got a face for radio. That guy.
Yes, he does.
Just saying.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I bet you he worked at Chuck E. Cheese. I bet you. Yeah, he did.
It looks like he's got all the pepperoni on the pizza.
Man,
but I'm not gonna slander a man. I think it's probably better if we land the plane now. Crazy.
You think so?
Yeah, there's some turbulence. We're getting south.
I told you it was going to get spicy. You invited me. Remember that. I didn't invite myself.
I did. I chose this.
That was your mistake.
Oh,
man. But hey, what an awesome episode, man. We had a lot of fun today. Oh, man. Jim Ryan says, I'm a big fan of Dreamcast.
I was just ready to that.
Oh, scholar. I'm pretty sure he couldn't make 2 cents by rubbing 2 pennies together, but
Oh man, this has been a funny chat. You guys are awesome. You guys are fantastic. I love you all to death. You guys kept it rocking and rolling like always, man. Super awesome, man.
I think next time, real quick, next time we get Rhetri in, we should also get Web Dave and do like a mega crossover.
Oh no! I'm gonna make.
No, you should, because I'll make Web Dave very uncomfortable.
No. Because if that happens, Web Dave is gonna pick on me. Then Retri's gonna pick on me, and it's gonna be no.
I'm here for it.
Listen,
I will.
I will.
Messy
If he
episode.
picks on you, Louis, I will purposely I'll take your side. I'll literally just flip the script,
Flip
and
the
I will.
script.
I will back you up
No,
100%.
And
Even if you're
I
100%
won't.
wrong, Louis, I'll still take your side.
Yeah,
But
you
then
can't-
I
you-
won't, just to balance
can't-
it out and bring
Right.
it back
You
down.
gotta- yeah,
no
you
one,
gotta
no one
balance
can
the
beat
scales.
no one can beat Web Dave on his jokes, man. I mean, I was saying it that day on the episode. Web Dave's gonna come at me, and yes, he did. He literally.
He's a
It was
pussycat. You're good. You're good.
I know. I love him to death. Web Dave is awesome. I love that. I love him today. He's an awesome guy. Awesome fellow, man. I love him to death. But either way, though, guys, it's time to land the plane because hey, we got stuff we gotta do. I mean, I gotta play later on, even within. What else I gotta do? Oh, I gotta wash some dishes. Damn, man. But either way, though, it was a lot of fun. Like I said, chat, you guys rock. Love you all to death. And let's get into our outros. And let's start with our awesome guests, which thank you so much, Rhetri, for joining us today. It was a lot of fun. Great conversation. Tell everybody, sir, where they can find you.
You can find me on the Twitters, Gamepass_daily. It says it. I can never do that right there. That's my Twitter account, or Gamepass Daily on YouTube, and of course with Web Dave every Sunday. This Saturday we have our special members only episode. We'll have Silent Cypher and King David will be joining us. So anyone who is smart enough to click the join button on our podcast can come in and talk some gaming. Obviously, this is a great week for that because we just have good stuff to talk about, in my opinion. I know King David's going to think this is going through with flying colors as I do. But yeah, it's gonna be a good time. And of course, every Tuesday, I'm also with Boom on the Xbox Factor podcast with Danny and Umbra as well. So thank you guys, chat. You guys are hilarious tonight. I definitely recognize some of you. G-Wave, you had some good ones. Jim Ryan, always making a good appearance. And of course, Mr. Joanna Dark. Yeah, that game sucks. I'm sorry. I love you, but it's not good.
Oh man, if it helps, I actually cut. I wasn't ready, or I kind of got a little bit distracted or just listening to you, so I didn't put you on when you were pointing to where
that's okay.
to find you. But however, in the description, guys,
box.
in the description, I actually put your Twitter account, your TikTok, and your YouTube. So please, everyone in the chat, go and follow Rhetri.
Yes, absolutely. We can talk more slander about Resident Evil, Veronica.
Well, all I know is that day when Rhetri and Web Day come on the episodes, it's not going to be called anything. It's just going to be called Pick on Louis Day. Come join us.
That's the best day on the calendar.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
Oh Lord, it's going to be
Nothing but love for you, Louis.
I know. I know. It's not going to be done so bad. And speaking about being picked on, because we love picking on this guy, Mr. Lionel Richie, wanna be all night long. Yeah, all night long. Tell everybody where they can find you all night long. Go for it, Sour.
All right. Well, to sign it off, you can find me here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. With these lovely individuals here. But you can also find me on Twitter and Xbox, Sourblow18. And you can find me sometimes Friday, but even if you can't find me, if you can't support those guys, Xbox International en Español, which is in Spanish. We got Eternal Shaddai there, and we got ASCAP Gaming. So, yeah, basically that's where you can find me.
All right. And now our sexy, handsome, bald captain. Yep, he's bald, but he's handsome, and he's got the greatest voice on this channel because he sounds like, I don't know how he sounds like, but yeah. But either way, Mr. Silent Cypher, tell everybody where they can find you, sir.
Two things, Crazy. One, it's a shaved head, not a bald head. It's a choice.
Oh.
It's a choice.
Yeah.
Two,
Yeah, me too. This receding hairline, my choice.
two, it's a voice of a beautiful demon. But yeah, as far as where you can find me, obviously you can find me here every Wednesday with these lovely gentlemen. Crazy occasionally goes to prison or jail or whatever we deem fit as he misbehaves. It's always good times. Shenanigans ensue. You can find me on TikTok. You'll find me on Twitter. You find me on most of the social media as Silent Cypher. You can find me on Xbox playing Fortnite with my son quite a bit, playing with Rhetri, RSJ, Galveston. God, we've
How
had.
do you forget your brother?
No, I try and forget
Covert,
as much
poor
as
Covert.
Covert Reaper, who's not on social media because he's an old man and can't stand in message notifications. He
Yes.
plays with us as well. But yeah, thank you, Rhetri, so much for coming to hang out with us, listening to my crap, listening to crazies, tolerating Lionel Richie over there. It's been a great evening, and I appreciate it. And I look forward to Saturday when I'm hanging out with you guys in the special episode.
Yep, it's gonna be a blast.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And where can you find the crazy one? Simple and easy. You can find me at Twitter, Crazy Louis Gaming, where I do good morning videos. And pretty much soon I will start my shower videos. I'm trying to get the setup for the shower, and it's taking me a while.
Shower videos. Wait, what?
Yeah, my cool shower videos.
Do you want to know outros? You want to time out right now?
No,
he's looking to go back into a permanent. Yeah, it's gonna be a permanent.
I'm good. I'm good.
Are you sure?
I'm good. Yes. But either way, you can find me, like I said, Crazy Louis Gaming on Twitter. On Xbox, you can find me with Crazy Louis. My picture has a predator on it because yes, I am a big fan of predators, aliens, and all sorts of crazy stuff. And also, you can find me on Tuesdays playing with Crazy, which I didn't do it yesterday here on the Xbox International Podcast, but I will do it later on tonight. I'll be continuing Evil Within. So join me, watch me be scared, or watch me get my butt kicked by that fast super dude. I don't know what his name is. Yeah, I probably heard it, but I don't know his name. But that dude is fast. He's quick and he breaks things. He broke a town. I don't know how he did it, but cool stuff. But anyways, you can, join me later on tonight for that game. And here on Wednesdays, my bad, Mondays. Yeah, I forgot about Mondays. Oh man, I keep forgetting stuff, man. I'm getting old. Sorry, guys. On Mondays, you can find me the Xbox Lunch Break Special with Mr. Web Dave, Mr. Boomstick, and Mr. Fuzzy Belvedere on the Double Barrel Gaming YouTube channel. And last but not least, here on Wednesday with these lovely, beautiful guys, Sourblow, Silent Cypher, and the Big Plume when he's not busy coaching Dominican baseball players. Yes, Xbox International Podcast, 7 p.m. ET. So guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and also hit that bell so it can tell you when XBI content comes on. And remember, let's go, let's rock, and please let this damn deal be done. Yes! See you all next Wednesday. Bye, guys. Love you all.
Goodbye. All right, outro's playing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've arrived at our destination. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captain turns off this live stream. On behalf of Xbox International, I'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we're looking forward to seeing you aboard next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.